You have been called the dumbest woman in America.
Have.
Finally on the couch.
Your ass be digging deep. But now I'm like, you know what? We gonna talk.
A lot of people have said you were underage when you met
Yes,
Kirk.
yes.
That Kirk allegedly groomed you.
First, I heard.
I bought Rasheeda from her mother,
Yeah.
adopted her, kept her until she turned legal age and married her.
Your solo career doesn't get talked about a lot. When you did Bubblegum, first thing first, Rasheeda. Mess around with no man and won't eat her. Your songs, how many billions of streams does it get, Kirk?
Marry Me is over 8 billion.
Are you two the most wealthiest couple to come out of the Love and Hip Hop franchise?
But what I will say is, if I don't want to do nothing, I cannot do nothing.
Was there ever a moment that you guys felt like Stevie J, Mimi, Jocelyn overshadowed y'all?
It wasn't times where we was like, we might have to, you know what I'm saying?
Turn a little different direction.
Turn a little different direction here on this
A
shit.
lot of people question the storyline came out about infidelity in the marriage.
People say, oh, Rasheeda must be the stupidest woman on the earth.
If me being the dumbest person because I decided to stay with my husband and fight for my family and do that, I'll be all the dummies.
Here's what else pissed me off. Jasmine told everybody on television, why the fuck would I have any challenge if I wanted to knock her back and I'm taking care of a child and giving you money? Am I trying to sleep with her? No. She has a huge crush on her.
How were you able to forgive your husband for having a baby on you?
All of my friends and the people who really love me, none of them ever told me, leave your husband. None of my real
Family
friends.
members did, and I was disappointed.
Yeah, some family members did.
Well,
go ahead.
Kirk,
I understand.
in a million years that my baby Rasheeda and my other baby Yandy would be at odds. She feels like you did not defend her.
What confused me is how all of a sudden you such a friend and you never checked on her when the Cannon thing happened. When Jasmine came back, you never even checked on her then, but y'all friends.
At the end of the day, I know what you're doing, and it's okay. And if people want to run with it and say, Rasheeda's not a good friend, she's not a where your man stick his penis ain't got nothing to do with me.
Do you think Mendecee is cheating on Yandy?
You
Have
know
you
what?
ever asked that question in Atlanta?
Do you feel like Yandy and Mendecee are trying to come for y'all's spot?
Long story short, me and Rasheeda contract was up and motherfuckers was going for our spot. That's what really happened.
Do you think Yandy and Mendecee have an open relationship?
At some point, maybe living in your truth is probably a better option.
I said stand up and give it up for Carlos. Yeah!
Let's have a real conversation.
We both from the hood.
What is this, child?
You guys are not going to be disappointed. It is definitely a treat.
But you know, this is the place.
This is reality with the king. You can say what you want, baby.
All right.
Oh, Lord.
I have been waiting 2 years for this interview.
Uh-oh.
I'm a patient man. These two are my friends in real life. I love them dearly. And I feel like they have yet to tell their real, authentic story. Give it up, y'all, for hip hop's couple, Kirk and Rasheeda.
Hey.
We are here.
We here.
Yes.
How y'all feel?
I'm good.
Why it take 2 years, Kirk? So Rasheeda, I was DMing Kirk like Kirk. I'm texting Kirk. I'm like, we're family.
Period.
Listen, I have been wanting y'all for 2 years. Y'all are finally on the couch. I'm gonna ask Kirk this.
Okay, ask Kirk.
Kirk, why it take 2 years, bro?
Okay.
I had Scrappy, I had Bambi, I had Erica
know.
Dixon, I had Scrappy again, and I had Mama D.
Okay, for us, Rasheeda's schedule always people don't realize I still have to manage Rasheeda, like booking, shows, studio, life, kids, mother, wife. So it's like I'm still waiting on Rasheeda's songs. I still have studio time that's waiting for her to record songs that we haven't done because we put a lot in front of it. And then I'd be a little nervous because, you know, I say it all the time. I'm like adopted into the industry. I'm really not like a people think because I do love and hip hop, like I like the camera. I'm really like chill. So I just
Forget
chill.
all that shit. Your ass be digging deep. I was like, I don't know if I want to fool with your ass now.
See?
But you know what? Now I'm like, you know what? We gonna talk. We gonna have a
Oh, it's because I did a couple of y'all friends' interviews and y'all saw how that went first. And y'all was like, oh, Carla's cool.
No, just because I know your ass. Okay.
And I told you.
say
I
all
hit you. I hit you before. I told you. I
You
said,
did.
listen, we coming. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We
You
coming.
did. So in Kirk's defense,
Yeah.
after 16 months,
Mhm.
Kirk said to me on a random Saturday,
Yeah.
yo, I got you
Yeah.
next year
Mm-hmm.
in 2025. So on January 2nd, 2025,
I sent a motherfucking damn.
I'm like, Kirk, you
Where we
ready?
at?
He said, damn, Lowe's, give me a few more weeks and I'm fine. But listen, all jokes aside, we are friends in real life. You may not be
We
friends with the
in
cast.
we friends in real life.
We're friends in real life. Because apparently you're not friends with your castmates.
Oh, so
Oh, we
they
friends with
say.
certain
I-
castmates. We are
I am.
friends.
I am friends. Okay, you know what I will say.
What?
Okay, and I don't know if you agree to this, but there's levels to friendships.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I just think that the lines get a little blurred with people sometimes when it comes to the levels of friendships.
Mhm.
Because I mean, when you work with somebody for 10, 11, 12, 13 years, you're going to develop some level of some type of friendship. You got a co-worker relationship, and then some
Yeah.
people you fuck with on another level. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And
Mhm.
that's just what it is. People just need to know and understand there's levels to friendships.
Are we friends in real life or is
We
it?
friends.
You just said we friends in real life.
Right.
Don't
Yeah.
From my
Don't be
vantage
backpedaling.
point,
But we have friends on the show. We will not tell you we have friends. I mean, I can name just if I had to just think, I'm gonna say Scrappy, Jock, Spice, Sierra.
Yeah.
Who
I mean,
I'm
it's,
leaving out?
it's
gonna
quite
be
a few people.
Yeah.
Shakana, I'm
Shakana,
so cool
it's
with.
a lot of
Like,
people we cool
it's
with.
people I'd like, and some people we're still developing
Shit, I thought-
friendships, and some people who
I
we
thought,
just
I thought we was cool with Bambi too.
I thought
Shit.
found
Fuck.
out different, but that's all right. My phone is going crazy. I'm
well,
sorry.
we'll get to that too. But listen, I want the world to know the real Kirk and Rasheeda. Not saying what they're seeing isn't real,
Mhm.
but I knew you guys before Love and Hip Hop.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
You know, I've been to your homes.
yes.
We partied together.
Yes.
We hung out together.
Yes.
You know, the Atlanta community, when it comes to just like the celebrities and whatnot, it is intimate and small.
It is.
And before reality TV got that boom, you two were always solid. Just always solid. You are honestly not only one of the most prettiest women I've ever met.
Oh,
But
so
you know
sweet.
that.
Thank
you're
you,
pretty.
honey. You're so sweet.
But you've always been so nice and humble. And you've always been so cool and chill. And one thing that I always saw before the cameras was Kirk always pushed you to the forefront
always
to be the star. And when I learned that you two were going to do Love and Hip Hop, I'm like, Kirk is going to... Just so y'all know, in real life, Kirk don't say two words. Like, Kirk is cool as shit and he fun, all that. But Kirk is one of those men who's like, I'm in the background, my lady's in the front. So I knew you was going to be great. I was like, I don't know if this will work for Kirk, because Kirk always been like very reserved.
Mhm.
So before we get into Love and Hip Hop, I want to start off with the two of you. You know, Kirk, you were in the business for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about your legacy, because people don't know that you've been in the business. You
Mhm.
are this hip hop impresario that has done a lot in this industry that I feel like a lot of people just don't know
Yeah.
about.
I mean, for the business, I started in 94. I created my company in 94. And my first group was the Capers, which was Rasheeda, KP, and Kiki at the time. And this is, music is starting to happen in Atlanta. Atlanta's starting to move and shake and bake. And at this time, I think not long after that, I had D-Lo Studios, which became like a hub. And I became the place where people who didn't have a lot of money to record would come, and even people with big budgets would come. I would cut deals lower than the big budget. So if you had 100, you give me 80, I'm still throwing you 10. So I started working deals like that. We literally popped out the gate, and we popped it from day one. I wound up selling that studio to one of the Hawks basketball players at the time, Allen Henderson, because Do It came out. And at the time, Do It was like the #1 record in Atlanta, and everybody came to the studio wanted me to sign them, and that became like, are you coming to work or are you coming for me to sign? And it was like getting to be a headache because everybody wanted you to sign them. Now at that time, I wasn't ready to sign everybody. So that I was kind of close with Jacob York at the time, and Luda recorded his joints at my studio, Pastor Troy and Attic Crew. We was hooking up everybody, right? So we were kind of, behind the scenes, making things happen, and always they took care of us. So, my posters and a lot of things, I don't really brag about it because I don't feel like I have to. I mean, you ain't gonna get paid unless you're doing business. So.
And how did it come when it came to you getting introduced to Kirk? Because you was on your grind, and did you always know that you were going to be a star?
What's one thing about me is I always was different anywhere I went all the time. I used to be a gymnast. I played basketball. I played softball. I did all these different things. Everything that I did, I always kind of excelled in it. You know what I mean? So it's like I always felt like I would be doing something. I mean, when I was young, it wasn't a big, huge hip hop scene like that. So that wasn't what I thought, I would be doing. But, after a while, I kind of figured like, yeah, I'm going to be doing some shit somewhere.
And that you did.
Yes.
So how did this come about? Because I want you to address the rumor. A lot of people have said, Kirk and Rasheeda, I'm sure y'all saw it, that you were underage when you met Kirk, that Kirk allegedly groomed you.
First, I heard what you did? My mama sold me to you.
So I supposed to have bought Rasheeda from her mother, adopted her, kept her until she turned legal age and married her. Meanwhile, we're only 6.5 years apart, by the way. The internet is, listen, I learned not to fight with them. They call me, Kirk, put your phone down, stop threatening.
I be like, babe, put that phone down.
I'm like, I want to turn you into something you're not. But my marriage license, you can look it up. We got married in Vegas. You can look up the ages. I mean, it's
so how old were you when you met Kirk?
When I initially met Kirk, I was 17 when I met him. But that was like, who is that? Oh, that's Kirk y'all talk about. Hey, how you doing? Didn't see him for a long time after that. You know what I'm saying? And then later, we ended up going through some stuff as a 3-girl rap group, the Capers. And when we got back to Atlanta, Kirk was saying, hey, I'm finna start a record company. We was like down, like, oh my God, we feel like our little career's over because things didn't work out when we were traveling and trying to do our thing. And Kirk was like, nah, y'all gonna be my first group. And literally a week later, he had contracts for us, big advances and all kinds of stuff. And that's where our relationship initially started. We were just working together. I was one of his artists. And then over time, it just,
But the same friend group. We had the same friend group. One of my friends was Todd.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was dating a girl named Heather. So it was like, and Todd was like my friend. Heather was his sister. We started dating. And Rasheeda was friends with that crew.
Yeah.
So, and I knew everybody else, and we just was hanging. And one day, I was like, they're going to be my group. Now, when that happened, we wasn't even thinking about she's doing her. Matter of fact, they was in New York with a producer in New York. I'm not going to mention his name because it doesn't matter now. But she was actually doing her own thing, doing what she was doing, and
dating this producer.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
How old were you? So how old were you when you guys started to date?
When me and him started dating, honestly, I had already graduated high school, and I think I was 18 or 19. 18 actually. I was 18. And we went on a date.
He asked you out on a date.
Well, I call it a date. What you call it?
No, I didn't ask her out on a date.
Well, you didn't like traditionally.
No, we was all out, the whole crew,
Everybody
the team, because we hung like we were like we hung out every day. Me, Kiki,
we had the
Jab,
skate ring, we had the movies.
So we hung, all my friends and all that stuff. So we was eating one day, out eating at the Waffle House, right? I told a story so many times. This is people make this up. Do you want to know the real deal story? Let me tell you how this happened. And I ain't even gonna get into Rasheeda was kicking my foot on the table, and I was
because I had got the tea.
Yeah, I'm like, who keeps stepping on my damn sneakers? So I'm getting mad, and she was kicking my foot, trying to give me the hint. But I'm lame at the time. I'm not catching on. I'm thinking, somebody stepping on my sneakers. So then we went, I drove a van because we all would get in the van and like ride around, and they would smoke weed. They was young. It was like Snoop Dogg time.
Yeah,
they was doing their thing.
Chronic was out. We was in Atlanta smoking Chronic.
So I drop everybody off, and me and Tar was about to go somewhere, jump in the van, and she pulls back up in her car because she didn't stay that far away. This is on Riverdale Road. We Southside, so
College Park,
Southside. That was all us.
Clayco.
Luda, JD, we 2 Chainz, we Southside, right? So she pulls right back up, says she left her keys in the van. So I'm looking in the van like, ain't no keys in here. What you talking about? She was like, you gonna give me the number or what? And I'm like,
Rasheeda, not you being fast.
First off, let's back this baby the hell up, because so I am getting out of my car on my way home. I'm going up the steps of my little apartment. Shout out to Willow Way on Riverdale Road. So one of Kirk's closest friends' niece was like, Rasheeda, girl, let me tell you, my uncle like you. So I'm sitting here like, which one are you talking about?
I'm looking for my man.
What uncle you talk about? And she was like, my Uncle Kirk. I said, well, your Uncle Kirk like who? Me? Shut up, girl. So she had gave me the ammo. So I said, well, let me see what's going on with Kirk then, with Uncle Kirk. So that's the reason why a little while after that, I ended up kicking his foot under the table, because I was under the impression that he liked me and just didn't say nothing.
Because Kirk always been fine. No disrespect to your husband, but
totally. No, he was. I mean, back
you're
then,
always pretty.
Thank
Kirk
you.
was fine.
No, Dad.
Well, the internet don't tell me that now. You're just
they talk about Kirk and his 3 earrings, honey.
Like,
for real.
Kirk, you don't have no earrings.
Because they
didn't talk them out of. They didn't talk them out of 8 carats.
I got my ears pierced a month ago because Keisha Kayor, hey Keisha, Keisha Kayor said, you need earrings. And I said, do I get 3 earrings like Kirk? And she said, no, start with 1. But no, Keisha said, but end up getting at least maybe 2.
Yes.
Right.
So I got my ears pierced. Thank you, Keisha Kayor.
Right.
Well, that's cute. And she
let me
told you right, because it is cute.
Thank you.
But go ahead.
I'm going to give you a quick 3 earring story. At the time, the only people who had those earrings was me, Jermaine Dupri, Rock, and Bobby. Was it Bobby Brown at the time?
Yes.
At the time, those are the only people who can afford to put that in their ear. It was like and I got the pictures. Now I know. I know
some 90s.
Yeah, I know. Like now, Yachty got 3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else I just seen with 3. Like so now it's like back to thing. But I stopped wearing them because they want to come with all the Kirk and his 3 earrings, 3 earrings, 3 earrings. So it's just like got old. So I took the earrings out. But I am about to put them back in. But it get on my nerve because they just listened to a jab that was on Love and Hip Hop, and I got to hear it forever.
I mean, it
14
happens.
years.
It happens
It's fine.
to the best
It's
of
fine.
us.
It's fine. But no, I wanted to, because the thing is this: you two met at a time where the hip hop industry is very different,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not uncommon at all for an artist to date the manager.
Right.
Obviously, I'm glad you clicked it up that you were obviously of age and y'all are 6 years apart.
Mm-hmm.
But when you guys started dating, was it weird in terms of doing that and then business at the same time? Especially you being in a girl group.
Right,
like
right.
favoritism, and then people feel like Rasheeda's going to get all the attention now that she's Kirk's woman.
You can start off if you want to, because you can.
The good part is these girls were my friends. Like it was Kiki, Kia. So like when I say friends,
like we were all friends, like
so
tight friends.
What I did to keep the bullshit down, if Rasheeda got something, they all got it. Kiki needed a new car. Here's the down payment. Such and such need to get this. Here you go.
If I got a new watch, they all got
a new watch. The new clothes, whatever. I just kept it 3 because it was 3, and I just knew that it would get funny. So I never had that problem, even though it did get weird dating at a point because people probably thought, well, you're going to make sure. At the time back then, this was in the 90s. We coming out in 98 was the first Capers album. I would tell Rasheeda, don't rap first. Let somebody else go because, you don't want to seem like you always lead the songs.
Mm-hmm.
But KP wound up getting Shorty Swing My Way, which was double platinum. Platinum with KP and Envy, Shorty Swing My Way. So that was really the first record that broke out and went platinum. So Kia became we call it Kia is her name, but KP, she's the first one to have that breakout national success.
Mm-hmm.
So she really was like, at that time, the ringleader of the face of the group. So it wasn't really like, it wasn't no real jealousy. You know, outside people might have had the jealousy going. The group was solid.
Yeah.
Everything was solid. It was more outside influence at the time.
It was. I mean, honestly speaking, like we were all so close and so tight. Like it wasn't even like a thing. Honestly speaking, it was more of the outside people who really just came in and like they do still to this day. They when you see something good, people come in and they try to infiltrate on your shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's really kind of like how things happen. And at the end of the day, though, with the girl group and all that, some of the best times I've ever had in my life. Like some of the coolest females ever. Like we've done first life things together. And that's something that'll never go away.
Yeah. And know? I have love for them to this day. Like to this day. Like we are like we all are. Like it's just now Kiki, we haven't seen her in a minute, but Kia, KP, like love to this day. Yeah. It's never been nothing, and it's it is what it is. I cried when they broke up. I ain't gonna lie.
Why did the group break up?
Outside influence.
Yeah, it was a lot of outside influence. A lot of just, because if us as the group, because there were a lot of other friends besides just us that was, that we were all cool with. And then when we're gone, they like, ooh, and other people's like, I should have been in the group. I should have been the one, and different things like that. So after a while, when it comes to women and then growing and just going through the industry for so many years, going after something. And after a while, it just became like it wasn't me, not to say it in this kind of way, because obviously I continued and moved on and had a solo career. You know what I'm saying? But at a certain point, people just want to do something different. And Kirk's not the type to be like, well, y'all gonna do this because y'all contractually obligated to make sure you do. No, he's not. He's like, if you want to go and you want to do something, you go right ahead. Because I came to him and said, well, I know the group is dismantling, but I want to move forward as my own person. Like I want to do music. And he was like, I ain't gonna never forget. He said, first off, you're gonna have to learn how to write all your own music. And I was like, okay, I will. Because, having a 3-girl group, we had people writing for us.
Ludacris wrote the first. Luda
was writing. We had writers. We wasn't even writing. And I'm like, no, you're absolutely right, which is one of the best things he could have ever done.
That publishing.
Because, baby, this publishing, that's why I told you I sit at a different table, baby. But we're going to get into that.
We own.
Hand to this table of the car keys, but go ahead.
We'll talk about them too.
Okay.
No, but for real, one of the best things he could have ever instilled in me. You know what I mean? And he also said, hey, okay, listen, are you getting in this because you want to be famous or do you want to be wealthy? Ooh. And when he said that to me, I was like, what you mean? And he said, because this is going to be a journey. It's going to be a trip. And if we go down this road, like we need to go down this road, then we will be wealthy. But if you just want to be famous, we'll go another route.
I'm going to stop you there. And listen, you get a lot of flack online, and we'll get into that in a second. But I like to give props where props is due and give people their flowers while they're alive. I appreciate it. What you said to her is some real shit. Because I say that to my reality stars when they start. Like, what's the end goal here? Because if you're chasing fame, you're going to get burnt out because you're going to try to keep up with the people liking you. And you're going to constantly chase relevance. Now, if you want to get paid and be wealthy, I can help you. I can help you by understanding the foundation and the fundamentals of really starting a business, sustaining the business, promoting the business. If you got something to say, business in the backdrop. But controversy when it comes to your crash out will never equal into a cash buyout.
There you go.
So the fact that you taught her that as a, you like 19, 20 at the time, like that's dope. And obviously we see the wealth you guys have accumulated. But I just wanted to say, like, I wish a lot of people understood that, because that to me is really significant.
No, it's super significant. And at that moment, I was like, huh? And like, of course, years later, after, us doing independent albums and owning our shit and just really selling units.
That's what I wanted to add to the Capers. That was an independent album. Like videos was on 35 millimeter. You know, I was spending like 135 on a video. Second video, Jermaine produced it. That was like 40. Then Brat was 30 for the feature, plus the video 100 and change. And you know, we was doing all this independent with the billboards on 85 North and South. We was in all the magazines at the time. But you know what else broke the group up and broke us out? We wasn't ready. We weren't ready for the fame. We wasn't ready. They was getting Rap City. They was on MTV on the radar. They had billboards. They was in like Hype Hair, and it was all these magazines. We was in the Vibe, the Source. You know, I was buying every ad possible. I was promoting the Capers. Like I had Caper. People still got it to this day. And that's what made me do Rasheeda the same way. But we wasn't ready, you know, because these groups get together and the first thing they all do, it took us 4 years to put out the album. So from 94, we didn't come out with the album until 98.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the 98, it was independent. You know, you had to really press your CD up, really manufacture, really distribute, fight for shelving space, buy your space. It was a different game.
Yeah.
So when we came out, we had high expectations, and they got very popular fast with the billboards. Rap City, Joe Claire came down. I had D-Lo Studios, the Compound. You'll see all this on the journey anyway. I got the footage for 30-something years, so you really gonna see the ride. You're gonna see when it start and when it begins to happen. But we wasn't ready, and you know that's when I thought about with Rasheeda, because I seen what happened when the fame came. It separated a lot of stuff. So, and I was like, and you still want to keep going? You know, I'm keeping it 100 with you. I dropped a tear when they broke up because I loved them. Like, they were like friends, and it hurt me, right? But at the same time, it's life. You got to move on, right? But we remained friends. We figured out certain things, but it made me figure out, if you doing this just because you want the city to be talking about you and you be popular and you want to do this, I really want to tell her this time, it ain't for me. You probably want to go sign somewhere, because if you want to do this, because I was already getting money. I'm from New York. My father hustled, my brother. I come from the streets. You know, a lot of people know in Atlanta. A lot of people don't. Everybody think I'm Kirk, this quiet.
That I didn't been taken care of.
Yeah, they think Rasheeda takes care of me.
I've been your sugar mama, baby.
You know, and
not big mama.
I've been big mama, big mama.
And I want to say this legitly. I don't hustle anymore. This is over 25 years ago. So don't come try to lock me up. I pay all my taxes. I ain't selling nothing. I'm as legal as I can be. Trust me. It was literally a stepping stone in the bridge.
Amen.
Right? But when I seen a way out, I literally went cold turkey and just quit everything. And I'm gonna even keep it realer than that. When I quit the game, we lost everything. We went down below zero. Like from up here, we went below, and we came back out the red, and we did it on our own, with our own, you know, working hard, doing what we needed to do. But you can go back, but that's what really happened. We really wasn't ready.
No, but and the thing for me is this: it's the fact that, listen, you have been sort of like positioned as like this Bengali. Do you know what I mean? Like this man who's sort of like hustling this young girl. So the fact that you obviously taught her the game, it does remind me of when Beyonce talks about how her father, Matthew Knowles, said to the group Destiny's Child when they were a quartet that, right, like on the second album, everybody needs to write, because the publishing is where the money would be at for the end of time. So fast forward to you being a solo star. I'm a little gay boy in Detroit, Michigan, singing bubblegum.
From the D?
My father said, "Why are you singing bubblegum?" And your brothers are rapping The Chronic. Like,
okay.
Right.
Like, what's going on here?
What is going on?
You're gonna tell me? I did later in life.
Right.
But on some real shit, and you know this is true for me, your solo career doesn't get talked about a lot.
Right.
Because I think, and this is no shade to anybody,
cool.
Is what it is, the reality show overshadowed your solo career. You remind me a lot, well, let me go backwards. Glorilla reminds me a lot of you.
Aww.
In terms of this young, beautiful, tiny, scrappy girl with the big voice.
Yes.
And I remember seeing you on BET. We had Sierra in the video, Monica, whatever, but when you did Bubblegum, first thing first, Rasheeda. Mess around with no man and won't eat her.
Yeah.
And then you had on the heels and the
booty shorts.
the booty shorts and your little legs.
Yes.
Like, to this day, ask your husband, I fucks with that record. And even to this day, people still stream that
Child.
song. And what people don't know is this, but I'll have you guys talk about it. People love to talk about you.
They do.
My name is Rasheeda.
I
I rap like Shawty Low. You know, but and listen, shade is fun, shade, whatever. But what people don't know is your songs today in 2025, it's still charting alongside Kendrick and a bunch of artists who
That
are
now.
relevant
right now. Yeah.
Facts.
Talk to
is
us
good.
about that.
God is good.
You know,
that's when I
Because you
when
don't
I
talk
can
about
say.
it enough.
I don't. You know why? Because
Hold on. How many billions of streams does it get, Kirk?
Marry Me is over 8 billion. So
Yeah.
we are
Marry Me.
Marry Me is over
Featuring
8
Toya
billion.
Wright.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
my
I'll
boo.
show you the stats. I won't
Toya
just make
Rushing.
that up. And if you're
Rushing.
looking at the
My boo.
iTunes top 200 right now, any genre of music, not just rap, hip hop, any genre right now, My Bubblegum is sitting at number 40 something in the country, in the world right
waiting
now.
Waiting on that.
You know, and that's our
wire
check.
to
We own the master. So we own Marry Me. We own the master.
Y'all own so to educate my audience, y'all own the masters,
We
which
own the
means
publishing.
and you
We
own the publishing.
So we're the record company, we're the writers, we're the record company.
And the publisher.
We own it. We get it all.
So all the money that gets accumulated goes into your pocket.
Absolutely.
Every last cent.
D-Lo.
D-Lo Entertainment. Which we
D-Lo.
which
And
is
now,
us.
when you say My Bubblegum, keep in mind, My Bubblegum was in Mall Cop. It was his
The movie,
ringtone. Adam Sandler, number one movie
and
3 weeks
Paul
in a row.
Blart Mall Cop. Yeah.
So Mall Cop, it was the ringtone, and that came off of MySpace. We sold hundreds of thousands of ringtones then, you know, and to be here now having a viral moment on TikTok and it's back on the charts. It's been there for 2 months going crazy. Marry Me still
it goes through like these phases
high.
where it like goes viral and then it'll simmer down and then I'll look up and then in like Asia, it's like all of these millions and like billions like of streams and stuff. Like it just constantly evolves, and that's why I always revert back to say, you know, God is good, and yes, you know, sometimes certain things overshadow, you know, other things, and I don't sit there and just try to like talk about it all the time or defend it, because like I said, damned if you do, damned if you don't. People are gonna say whatever they want to say, but one thing that I can stand on is the fact that I may have never been a big, huge mainstream artist, but baby, I'm always going to eat and always going to be good. And none of that matters when you understand the business of music. And that's the difference. Like you can make all the mockeries you want. That stuff doesn't faze me. I rap like Shawty Low, and he was in Atlanta. Rest in peace. But when you watch the journey, you'll understand I've been doing this since the 90s. Like
I have a Shorty Low moment too I want to speak on when you finish.
Well, go ahead. You can speak on
it. Okay. So here's the thing. And Jerry Smoking B, and who was the program director at the time?
Shit, it was Jerry.
Was it Jerry? So when Young LA came out with Ain't I, just so you know, like, and you can go back to the record, I just posted it on my page. What's the record I just posted? I literally just posted it because it was a style of rap that Rasheeda came with, right?
Yeah.
But when that record came out, my phone rang and he was like, "Congratulations." And I was like, "For what?" He's like, "I mean, I know Rasheeda wrote this record, right? Because of the flow that we had at the time. Like, we got a congratulations from the program director, and he thought Rasheeda wrote the record." But let me back up to Shorty Low. Everybody who is in Atlanta knows Rasheeda was rapping like that before Shorty Low even was a rapper. Shorty Low still was in the streets.
Yes.
You'll get that from his manager and everybody else. Low wasn't even out the streets yet when Rasheeda was out. So that comes from K.Michelle throwing a jab saying you and your 3 earrings, and Rasheeda, I rap like Shorty Low. So now since they watch Love and Hip Hop,
you know, people take it and they run with it.
But now here's what I gotta say. I have to thank her for that, because I mean, we're 8 billion streams later. We're on the charts today, and if I look back and say, where are they now? I'm not being shady, but I'm just saying, if she wouldn't have did what she did, we wouldn't have that I rap like Shorty Low. So I give her props for that, because I got to listen, let me tell you something about her, and I say this all the time. Her mouth is witty. I ain't trying to fuck with her. I'm 3 earrings, and Rasheeda is rap like Shorty Low. So her shit has lasted the test of time. I'm going to give her
2020.
So I'm giving her listen, I'm giving her
13 years,
13 years, baby.
Of accumulation.
So, you know,
yeah.
man, we had our differences, and then it was what it was, you know, but I torturing or bothering, but I'm like, God damn, you had a dig. They still digging on my ass.
The thing for me is, listen, I always tell people, the lasting iconic memories of reality television aren't fights. It's the shade.
It's the shade.
It's like you said, it's the wittiness of someone's mouth, right?
Yeah.
So, how much money do you think you've made so far off of this bubblegum and Marry Me Alone? If you have to guess.
I mean, right now, the one that's on the charts is the one that you buy. Now, my streams is out of here. I mean, we do millions and billions of streams. That money is smaller.
But that money is smaller because streaming money really ain't a lot of money for artists like that. So, okay, this is what I will say. When you start getting up in those numbers in the hundreds of millions and the billions, then the math be mathing real good in streams. You know what I mean? Then you like, okay, this was 100. This was 6 figures. This was this. I mean, and it varies because, it'd be a lot.
Millions of dollars. I mean, we didn't cross that line. I mean,
off of like, Marry Me, you made millions of dollars off that song.
But you have to realize, too, Rasheeda is really the underground queen of licensing music. You know, the United States of Terror, CSI Miami,
because I have so many songs that have been on television that people don't even know about.
Wait, hold on. Let me finish my list.
Keep running your list. Keep running your list, baby. Run that shit down.
Rasheeda's songs have been featured on movies and TV shows.
Right. So when the PSP came out, Vibrate was the only song on the PSP that shipped 1 million. We kept 10% of the publishing. We got a nice royalty from Sony. And then Vibrate's been on many shows, but I left out Bobby Shop, Beauty Shop, The Fog,
Lincoln Heights, United States of Terror.
So while everybody
Robin Big, The Fabulous Life of, all these different shows like MTV Cribs, all kinds of stuff.
We was like low key. We was pinning those records in the house, and they needed a song. Like I would do a song. We'd be up 2:30 in the morning doing a song. We would mix it down, master it with the mastering software in the
at home in the computer,
and we would ship it to the label and sign off by the next morning. They needed a song in by 3 p.m. We would get up, go do the song, and ship it to them.
Yeah.
Oh,
so real talk, because y'all are very humble, and I feel like sometimes you gotta pop your shit. Are you two the most wealthiest couple to come out of the Love and Hip Hop franchise, or people in general?
Wealthiest couple?
The wealthiest people. Is Kirk and Rasheeda the wealthiest people to come out of Love and Hip Hop?
This is what I will
franchise.
say. I can't count nobody pocket. Okay, right. But what I will say is, if I don't want to do nothing, I could not do nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
If
I wanted to say, you know what, fuck everything, I don't want to do nothing.
You'll be set for life.
I'm good.
If you two were to retire today and never work a day in your life, y'all will be good, and your kids will be good.
Well, let me say this. At this point in time, 2 of my kids' house is paid for.
Yeah.
So you already, we have 10 property. Well, we about to have 11. I'm about to buy
11.
In Florida.
Let's talk about 11.
Yeah. So we got 10 properties. You know, we got 3 commercials.
And you got to come to Bahamas.
We got no mortgages. So
I was literally going to the Bahamas 2 weeks ago.
We got a house there. You can stay there. I'll have my property manager come open it for you.
It's over $1 million change. It's paid for. So it's not that it's not bragging or nothing, but I mean, people say I'm nonchalant, right? And I act like I don't care. But maybe because I just be looking at the numbers and it's like,
they say wealth whispers.
Yeah, it's like,
and you don't have. That's one thing I would say.
It's like, so when they be saying all that stuff. Sorry about this, y'all. Excuse me.
No, do your thing. You working, bro.
Sorry.
Because I saw the car you pulled up in, one of many. and on some real shit, it's the dream car I have on my mood board.
That's my 5th one.
Yeah.
Damn,
okay.
Kirk. I mean.
That's my 5th one.
Rasheeda, write a song for me. So, Rasheeda, can you do the theme song to Reality with the King?
Oh, how cute.
I would love for you to do it.
We got to do a little bop for you because you know you be turning up. You have literally really been rocking with me for a very long time.
Unlike some real
and I love
not like some fake Hollywood Atlanta shit, like some real shit. No. And that's the reason why, look, I wanted you two to come on because I see everything happening on social media. I love the fact that you two don't give a fuck. But I do see a lot. And the reason why I'm like, I can only do so much when it comes to my personal conversations with people in the streets. Like, is Rasheeda that stupid? Is Kirk really whatever?
Right.
I wanted to invite you two to just address anything you want to address. So, doing Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta. Obviously, it was an opportunity for me to work with Mona and to do something in the city. And when I learned you two were joining, I was like, this is going to be crazy.
Right.
And what made you guys decide to do that? Because you two lived a very private, fruitful life. And do you regret doing the show?
I definitely don't regret it. I don't regret anything because in every situation there's learning lessons and it builds character. And, you know, I don't like to live my life with regrets. Even when it comes to like certain things that happen and I'll be like why? Then I'll be like, you know what, Lord, teach me. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
Teach me, please.
Amen.
You know, and let me grow from this. But no, I don't regret it at all because what I will say is this. One thing that people have to understand is going into love and hip hop, we had no clue it was going to become like a cultural phenomenon at all. Like, it was green. Like, for real. And one thing about us, though, is like, the music industry, we have been doing that for such a long time, and we looked at it as an opportunity to try to elevate, you know, as a springboard for us. We went into it with a plan. And that's one thing that I tell all these people who try to join onto this franchise, because everybody's always like, we like Kirk and Rasheeda, contrary to what people think. And everybody comes to us for advice. And I tell everybody all the time, don't let this bullshit overshadow your end goal and what it is you need to do. If you don't have a disciplinary bone in your body, this ain't going to be the one for you because you're going to easily get distracted the wrong direction. Go into this shit with a plan and execute it. And that's exactly what him and I did. Like we sat there and we said, okay, if we're going to do this, because in order to be a millionaire, what you need 7 streams of income, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So we looked at this television opportunity also because we're thinkers. And at the time when Love and Hip Hop Atlanta was coming, we was like, reality TV about to be the shit. We better get on this boat while we can.
You have friends who did it.
Yes, because of course, with Candy, you know, I'm sitting here with her, talking to her about Housewives. Like, girl, you better do that shit. You know, when she got the call, I was right there with her. Like, yeah. I'm like,
yeah, we was right there.
Yeah,
because you know, her and Rasheeda was on the road. They did Peach Candy.
We were a group.
Candy wound up coming back on the road, entering the music. Because we was booked every weekend with the mixtapes and doing the stuff. So Candy came with us and started coming on the road with us.
Yeah.
So wait, so you and Candy were in a group?
Yeah, we had a group called Peach Candy. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Song on the
This
radio
was prior to reality TV, baby. Neither one of us were on television.
Wanted to sign it. It was 3 of us. It was me, Candy, Don Vito, and Rasheeda, 4 of us, right? Yep. And we all were, like, Pharrell wanted to do the deal. Don Vito didn't want to do the deal. So it was in the middle of a tug of war.
Pharrell, as in Pharrell Williams?
Yes. Their song was in rotation and he wanted to do the deal. And we had a partner who didn't want to do the deal at the time. Mm-hmm. So it was like Candy and Vito and me and Rasheeda. And, you know, Candy's very supportive. Candy is a real G because Candy come with her money like a dude. Because I respect. I
got that coin now.
Every time we needed to pay for something, Candy had no slack, she come like a dude with the bag, right? So I loved her for that because I was like, I wish you was my sister in real life because you do stuff like I do it. And, you know, I love the fact that she handles her business like that. So,
but
Peach Candy, Peach Candy song's probably gonna start blowing up because they right at that point where people starting to listen to them. So
that's insane. Because so you decided to do Love and Hip Hop. You did the show. Mm-hmm. Let's have a real conversation.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I was a part of season 1, and I think all of us were just like, we're just gonna figure this out.
We were,
and I'm speaking in terms of like the producers,
right?
Yeah.
Because at the time we did Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, DJ Drama and his girlfriend at the time were going to do the show. Mm-hmm. And don't know if you guys even knew that. Mm-hmm. Did y'all know that? Okay. Mm-hmm. And when we lost them, they decided not to do it. Mm-hmm. What y'all don't know, maybe I told y'all already, so whatever. The producers were freaking out. Mm-hmm. Like, we don't have DJ Drama or his girlfriend. What the is this show going to be, right?
Right.
And so that's when I'm being honest when I say me, Mona, Stephanie, like we all were just like figuring it out. And Mona's a genius who always had the pulse of this industry because this is her industry.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a student learning from Mona. Like, I don't know nothing about how this shit operates. Mm-hmm. And Mona was such a genius because she understood, like, I know it's going to get people talking. Long story short, this Mimi, Stevie J, Jocelyn thing came out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. And it blew up. And I remember being at Houston's on a Monday night, right? Mm-hmm. At like 7. And Rick Ross was at Houston's. Mm-hmm. And I remember hearing Rick Ross say, damn, we gotta go. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta about to come on.
Yeah.
And this at the time when like
Oh,
you
baby.
watch TV in
At the
real
crib,
time.
exactly. You watched it then, and you called all your friends, and y'all had a party watching that.
Yes, and
That
I remember being there like Rick Ross is leaving Houston's to make sure he's home at 8:00 to watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. So when the season became a bona fide hit, it was one of the first seasons in a long time where every single episode the ratings increased, and then the reunion happened, and boom. Did you guys feel like, okay, you two plus Scrappy were probably at the time, and K.Michelle would say too, kind of the most recognizable. But the Mimi, Stevie J, Jocelyn thing took off. Was there ever a moment that you guys felt like Stevie J, Mimi, Jocelyn overshadowed y'all? Season 1.
You can start with that and I'll chime in.
This is how I felt. And I give Stevie J and Jocelyn and Mimi their props. Because Jocelyn, you know, everything works for her with that little that shit, you know, like I like them, period. Like
absolutely.
As cast,
and Mimi, and keep in mind, Mimi, we've known Mimi for like
forever.
30 years.
Yeah, we've known Mimi
like
over
we've
30.
known her forever.
Yeah.
So we know her.
When I seen it, I realized, I was like, wait a minute. I'm cool as Kirk, you know, just really, you know, I got a different rep. So I'm thinking that I thought the real it was what they wanted. So I'm thinking I'm about to just really hype up. You know, I had to do it because they wouldn't do it without her, her other, right? So I'm thinking, okay, well then I'm about to do this shit and whatever. I never thought of it as Stevie J was that genius with the rat faces and the little way he moved. What he did really worked. I didn't know that though at the time. I'm thinking this was corny, but it really wasn't. I seen that this is what worked with TV. And I realized what I got from Stevie is I was like, you got to dumb your personality down. The way you think you are, you're not to people. People think of you as this other shit. So you need to
character.
Yeah, you got to chill out a little bit and be a little more funny. And I learned that from just watching. Did I ever think it would be like checkmate, like we're gonna catch you? That happened in season 2, right? Season 2 was a hot tub?
Oh, was it
3? What was it, 2 or 3?
3.
3.
It was 3.
So by 3, we knew, you know, by 1, we knew by episode 5 that, okay, we need to shift. Season 2 was, I think they said we was like neck to neck because Rasheeda's long history of being a female rapper. By 3, we totally had we were the show at this point, like literally since then, right? I mean, we got and I'm not saying because we could never do it without them, but if that cast was ever back together, it would be like the number one because that was genius.
Honestly
genius,
speaking,
genius.
I feel like all of the parts came together like they needed to.
It was
Love and Hip Hop Atlanta season 1, season 2. That cast, like it couldn't have been better any other way. Yeah. To be honest, what I realized was everybody has to give what everybody gives. Yeah. And that's what made the show so dope. I'm just a person who I don't want to be nobody else. I don't want to try to be like nobody. I walk in my own purpose. Like I've always been this way. So there's never been a point to where I felt like, ooh, we got to be like them or we got to do this. No, we just have to understand who we are and then proceed in that direction.
Right.
And that's kind of like the way we looked at it. Because I ain't gonna count. We ain't gonna sit here and be like, it wasn't times where we was like, we might have to, you know what I'm saying?
Turn a little different
direction here on this show. Now, we might have to let them know some things.
Let me tell you what I do this
year. You know?
Yeah.
You have to, you do to a certain extent.
Yeah.
This is what I will say. In anything that you do, especially something as big as Love and Hip Hop, it's a give and a take. Mm-hmm. You know, you can't expect all of this from reality TV, all the great things without having to go through the bullshit.
And that's reality TV in general.
It is in general. That's why I guess a lot of times I'm real like, girl, bye. Like, I don't give a damn. Like,
but as a woman, I want to ask you this because when it comes to the men, one thing about the men, they're like, that's for men.
Woman shit.
But the girl shit, on some real shit, it was obvious that Jocelyn became the face of the show.
Of course.
And the K.Michelle became the witty one. And obviously you were established. Was there ever time, just like, you know, listen, being a woman in this industry, did you ever feel like, am I not as important as them?
I will say this, and maybe it's because I've been an independent female underground rapper for such a long time. I always felt like staying focused, staying determined, and staying true to yourself that shit will surface. At what level, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I could do. All I could do was come on the show and just be Rasheeda.
Yeah.
And if that worked and connected, it worked and connected. If it didn't, it didn't. That's just how I looked at it, period. I never looked at it like that because I just can't do that. That's not who I am. I've always been like that. So, I mean, and the thing about it is, like, I loved Jocelyn, what she brought to the show. You know, I liked K.Michelle and what she brought to the show. I liked Scrappy and Erica Dixon and the whole, and Mama D and the whole scenario that we had. Like, I looked at everything and I said, you know what? Everybody plays like this intricate role. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day in life, like, you're going to get your laughs and your kikis and shit from Stevie, Jocelyn, Mimi.
Mimi.
No, Stevie, Jocelyn, Mimi, the whole you know what I'm saying? You're going to get your laughs. Scrappy to this day should have had Paul's t-shirts. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got Mama D forever is just in the palace. You know, it's just all of these different things. I think what connected Kirk and I is just like, I got a sister, real nigga shit. Like, just real relationships. Like, it's just real people, you know? And I think ultimately you want to be entertained, but you also kind of want to learn and kind of like tread through some of that. And I think that's what we brought.
A lot of people question the validity of y'all storyline, right? Because they feel like in order to keep up with them, you had to create some fake shit. And I want you guys to address that. So I wasn't a part of the show when the storyline came out about infidelity in the marriage. Before Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and I've been around you guys, and I'm just being honest, I've never seen anything but like, this man is infatuated with you. And when
people don't see that.
No, when I say that, and this is before Love and Hip Hop,
right?
When they weren't like on TV, so a lot of people were in their faces. Like, we will all be like, me and my ex and y'all, like, we will all just hang out, right? And I remember always catching Kirk staring at you in a very like admirable way, like you're his lady and he loves you. So when the storyline came out about infidelity, I'm like, nah, I don't. Not them. Were you guys dealing with that before the show, and you two decided not to share it with producers?
No, we brung it to the show. I mean, because you've been there. I mean, the cameras got to be invited into your house to talk about it. So what happened? This is me backing it up a little bit. Rasheeda had just had Carter. And she can elaborate more into it. And, you know, now keep in mind, when we came on the show, we had been married already for 11 years, right?
Yeah, 11
years.
So, yeah, because I think we did a 12-year, what you call it?
With an anniversary.
Yeah.
Season 2, we did something.
Yeah, we did a little
so we was married, right?
Thing.
So nobody even knew Rasheeda was married, number one, because she was a rapper and you're supposed to be having no boyfriend. You don't supposed to have, you got to be sexy for the people to want you. That was the industry at the time. No kids, you don't supposed to do nothing, right?
None of that.
Anyway, this is the second kid. This is Carter, you know, and she gets pregnant. We couldn't wait. You know, Carter's coming and, you know, we had some bumps going through the pregnancy, but Carter comes and, you know, I'm happy as hell, but what I did notice, Carter slept with us till he was 7 years old, by the way, in the middle of the bed. So this is how much we was in love with this little boy. Like, this, because we ain't having no more kids, so we gonna spoil him. Anyway, I noticed that me and Rasheeda were growing apart. Like, you know, it was like we were going through, and this is the real shit. Like, this didn't get on the screen. Like, we didn't get to shoot. Kirk and Rasheeda are really not really fucking with each other like that. It was like, you know, we was just going through that.
And I think it was just the point of us, like, because for me, I didn't know anything about like depression or postpartum and stuff like that after having a kid. Like, as a Black woman, that was not something that you even knew about, discussed, thought it pertained to you or anything like that. And we went through this period where I was like, I wasn't with him like that. Like, you know, I'm overweight. People talking about you. I'm on this show that's huge, you know, and I'm sitting here like, oh my God, did I do the wrong thing? Like, okay, wait, you know, and I'm down and I'm beating myself up, honestly, for no reason, but I'm human and, you know, things happen. I pushed him away and I blame him to say he should have grabbed me and, you know, put his arms around me and nurtured me more than doing the things that he did. But I'm a piece of work. you know,
Mhm.
when it comes time. Like, you know, I was just like,
So you were going through postpartum. You didn't want to be intimate with your husband.
I did not. And we were not intimate for a long time, which does not
12
make it an
months.
excuse. But
12 months?
it was
12
almost a
months.
year.
Y'all
It
didn't have
was-
sex for 12 months after
12.
Carter was born.
We did have sex, but if you try, it was like, come on.
Oh.
It was bad.
You ain't got that problem no more, though.
No,
see?
not no more.
You ain't had that for a long time. No.
Yeah, it was f***ed up,
Seriously, it was bad.
right? But I mean, I get beat up because Kirk, mind you, this is almost a decade old now. So all this talk is a decade. This is almost 10 years right at this point.
Yeah.
So people talk about it like it was yesterday, and you know, Kirk just and Jasmine. I'm like, come on, bro, it's 10 years old at this point. Would you not want me to be able to communicate with the kid's mom? Like some people still think it's not real. Like Cannon is like not a real child. Cannon is a real child. Cannon is really over.
And you know what?
house.
It was a real situation that happened that had to be one of the biggest learning lessons, one of the hardest
man.
things to deal with, one of the hardest things to get past. And at one point, I didn't think I was gonna get past it. Like it was literally to the point to where I was like, you know what?
Yeah,
I'm not doing it.
And everybody,
You know?
that's the thing. Like when people say, you know, oh, Rasheeda must be the stupidest woman on the earth, or Rasheeda must be stupid, or Rasheeda should. Oh, they want Rasheeda to go out and go.
Girl, you need to go sleep
You
with
need to go
this,
sleep
this,
with
this.
everybody.
Girl, I'm not about to slang coochie because you want me to slang some coochie.
Yeah, it's like the upset is so I see how women think. They was like, you need to go be a slutbag whore. You get what I'm saying? And then how they get even.
Well, I think this, because the thing is this. You have been called the dumbest woman in America.
Have.
And I want you to address that, but I want to go back a little bit because listen, on some real shit, y'all are relatable. You two aren't the first married couple to deal with infidelity and to deal with the outside baby.
True.
And we'll get to that later.
And guess what? I learned that upon my situation. You don't understand. Like people can say what they want. I had so many people reaching out to me. It was so overwhelming. So many stories about people, their relationships, they mama them, their grandparents and them. All of this ain't nothing new under the sun. It's just the difference with us as ours was broadcasted on television. And, you know, people, they always want to ridicule you. And if me being the dumbest person because I decided to stay with my husband and fight for my family and do that, I'll be all the dummies I want to be in. It doesn't matter to me at this point. I know what we've been through. And honestly, it was a hard pill to swallow, very difficult. You know, he had to make a lot of changes, you know, and do a lot of things. And it's a difficult road. But at the end of the day, like I had to go through that and deal with that, you know, as a woman with the world watching me and everybody still to this day, you know what I'm saying, judging me because I decided to stay. Which
certain people, because I will say this, it is a difference, and that changed the way people looked at me and Rasheeda after that. Like I've never been anywhere where people are not like. It's certain times when you're doing this and you just there, but after that, people cared. Like people was like, Kirk, you saved my marriage, you saved my relationship. I'm back in the house. It became like y'all saved us because if we wouldn't have seen what y'all did, we would have never made it. That's when I took it real serious. Like, oh, wow. Like it connected to so many people. Now, for me, was it embarrassing being who I was? It was embarrassing. I got kids. You know, it was fucked up. I got grandkids. I got 7 grandkids. People think my grandkids is like outside.
Yeah, because you know, he got a whole bunch of bitches.
Got,
Let the world tell it.
And
I take care of all their kids.
Like,
that's what they say.
They'll say anything. Rasheeda's so dumb. Got all these kids. My kids are all grown.
Right.
Except
and they got
Carter
kids.
and Cannon, right? They're grown. The thing I'd be mad about sometimes, and you know, I understand it's people with their opinions, whether it's good or bad, but you know, we made it through some rough shit and nobody trained me to learn to be attacked from the internet. But like I didn't know what was going on. And that was a weird place because Rasheeda's my best friend. Like this is like I got kids and they love me to death and they didn't judge me. But Rasheeda was my best friend. And me and my best friend was like on the outs. And that me up because it's like, well, I don't I'm talking about when I say you know how you could sleep and be like, please just tell me this was a dream. And I would wake up and this is real every day, right? And it made me realize, you know what? For one, I'm definitely gonna fight for my wife. I'm gonna show her that, I was wrong for what I did, and I shouldn't have been just because we wasn't intimate and you wasn't for me. I shouldn't have just, I was lost too. I went in the streets hanging with my partner who got single. I'm drinking every day. I'm out. I'm in the club. I'm in goddamn a bar at 2 o'clock to the night. Like I'm lost. Like literally, right? And something
May I
hit
ask
me
you
one
this?
day. Mm-hmm.
Not to cut you off, because I feel like a lot of men are watching this, and a lot of women are watching it too. And I always want to relate it back to like how people can relate to this. At this time, you're on television.
Mm-hmm.
So were you seeking out women, or were women seeking you out, and that's what happened?
Well, no. People always was in your DM. I mean, if people know me, I'm not, and I don't want this to be like I'm trying to brag. I'm a young dude who came from New York, hustling in the time and epitome, and people. I grew up a certain kind of way. I'm not trying to brag about it, but I'm always used to girls. I hung around Ebony and all the flyest girls in the world. Like Ebony had to fly. Rasheeda was different because she didn't want much. That's what made me like her. It was her personality and everything. So it wasn't even about me liking the women. I've dated celebrities before. I didn't want none of that. It was like a change in time. I had one situation. Think about this. All they say about me, where these girls at? In a time where everybody got a camera, everybody films everything.
Everybody got receipts.
I'm just keeping it 100. Where the bitches at?
Was Jasmine the only woman you
That is the only shit on me. And I got to hear everything under the world. I'm the cheater. I'm pissed off because I'm like, where they at then? Come to where are you? Where you at? So I get that and it pisses me off because they think Rasheeda let Kirk do anything. He could just go cheat. And here's what else pissed me off. Jasmine has said she shows text messages from 2007. So certain people seen it. Oh, that's from 2007. Was it 2007 or 2017?
No, 17.
2017.
Mm-hmm.
When you looked at it, you go back and look, it was old, right? But we lived it out and they got to relive it and we got to bring it up. Ain't going on. And Jasmine told everybody on television, on the show. She said, I'm a nasty right?
Mm-hmm.
Why in the fuck would I have any challenge if I wanted to knock her back? If I wanted to knock her back and I'm taking care of a child and giving you money, if she does this, what would make it a challenge? I'm not knocking nothing she did. I'm glad for her. She's doing what she do. But am I trying to sleep with her? No. Do I want to sleep with her? No. She has a huge crush on her. She asked me one day.
I know she wanted to pat on my little kid.
She wants your bubble gum?
She wanted 2 hours.
Hey, listen. If you think about when Jasmine came on the show, she came with Rod and his 2 girls. It was 2 on the show. He kissed both of them in the bed. She doesn't hide her sexuality. She wanted to be a 3 like us. Rasheeda's just not with like that. You get what I'm saying? So
what I'm finna be doing, baby.
But I'm not saying that to be shady or nothing, but I mean, it is what it is. I took it on the chin. She said what she said, There's other things she talk about, and I know a lot of stuff going on now that I have not revealed. Mm-hmm. I'm going to stay at my place. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. With other people, but she's like she's been around Rasheeda, and she told Rasheeda who she's talking to. A celebrity and what he wants to do. She's not like a closed door like type of, she's not a hider. So she's going to expose what's going on.
And I think that's the biggest thing for me because, listen, we live in the real world and we live in Atlanta. And in some of our friend groups, there are couples who have, I'm not going to say an open marriage.
Yeah, but they swing and they do their thing.
They're
they
swingers
do.
And they, whatever.
So
I do think this. When it comes to you, and this is me on some real shit, I was shocked, floored, and in disbelief when I learned you stepped outside of your marriage, only because that's not the Kirk that I hung out with. And then after I was in shock on some real shit, I love her so much because she's such a sweetheart that I was like, no woman deserves that. But for me, it was, I know how much she also is devoted to you. And when you learn not only he cheated on you, but they had a baby, there are comments saying, we've never seen you cry. Even Scrappy said that. But behind the scenes, like...
Oh, baby.
How did it
was tough.
Talk us through, because I know you in real life, and I could not imagine the pain you must have felt.
You know what I will say? I don't think a gun wound or like somebody stabbing me, you know what I'm saying? Like it has to equivalent to like a pain that you just can't explain. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And coming from someone who, you know, this right here, like people say everything. We are fucking best friends. Yeah, like friends. In the story. Like it just is what it is. I can't
confirm that.
Kirk and Rasheeda, yep, you can keep running it. Rasheeda ain't never leaving. We're gonna always be good. We're gonna always be cool. I'm gonna say this too.
I knew I hurt her bad. I thought she was done with me, and I just want people to understand. I really thought we were done, right? But I knew I fucked up even more when we was on that reunion, and she broke down crying in front of everybody, and her mama hugged her, and she was like, "It's gonna be all right, baby." Yeah. I said to myself, "I'm fucking dead." Yeah. These women are gonna. I was like, I was so mad at her, but it was her emotions and breakdown because we friends. I'm like, she just killed me.
Because what I will say is like I felt like because doing television, they show all these little small parts and all these little pieces. They never ever came in to really, really ask me or really, you know, kind of go through or film me going through what I really went through. I went through a lot of shit by myself. And besides my friends checking on me, I'm talking about, I'm not answering the phone. My friends is pulling up like, where are you? What are you doing? You know, and me and him were, back then we had more than one house. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm at one house. He's at another house.
Oh, really?
Like people don't know all of that. And I feel like I just never sat and explained all of that because everybody wants to run with the narrative that they want to run with. And I'm not the type of person who feels like I need to sit down and explain, you know, to people all the time. Oh my God, it was this. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Now at this point, because people just, they run with whatever they want to run with. But when I tell you one of the most difficult, and we went through that when I tell you for a long time, like a very long time.
Maybe 2 years, it was
2 years.
First year was trash. It was awful.
Like when I tell you, it was just first of all, when you are best friends with someone and y'all are totally in love with each other, and y'all, if we're not together, we on the phone. You know what I'm saying? So when that right there is like done and over with, you know, and you're moving totally different than you've been moving for the last 10, 15 years. You know what I'm saying? That alone was a lot. Mm-hmm. I had to come to realize though, like I could not allow the public to get into my head because had I done that, I would probably be in a whole different place at this point.
I want to continue there. You're on at that time, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta arguably is the biggest reality show in the world.
Yeah.
And what I always thought was funny is because back in the day we all hung out. I remember it was like this funny, friendly competition between you and Candy. Yes. Because Housewives of Atlanta was #1.
Huge.
And the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta came out. Y'all was like,
hey, what you want to do?
It was like this funny, friendly thing. So it was that show was huge. And people talk about Wendy Williams making the decision to leave her marriage based upon that as an example.
And I watched that, and you know what I said, and I definitely want to make this clear. Like, Wendy allowed her husband a lot of freedoms. She allowed him to have another place. You know what I'm saying? And this is just me watching as a consumer. What you finna say?
No, I'm thinking like, is that the difference? Because you're not the first woman. This is the thing. I love Fun Shade. I think Fun Shade is funny. You two have a sense of humor, right? When people say things like, Rasheeda, Kirk is trying to leave you, but you won't let him.
Oh, well, wait. Kirk, blink two times if you need some help.
Yeah, like,
oh my God, yeah.
Rasheeda, Kirk wants to leave. Like,
nigga,
stop, right?
bye.
Or like, let this man cheat in peace. So, like, but I also know some real shit, and this is nobody's fault. When you are a public figure and you have the world saying to you, leave this man, leave him. How were you able to drown out the noise to really pay attention to what you were going through as a wife and a mother?
Yeah, it was so tough. Like people, they talk on it now, but they have no idea like how heavy that was. Like it was so heavy that it was like, there was times where I don't think I even came from out of the bed for like a long time. I would say a week, you know, like it was really hard. I couldn't I had conversations with people who were close to me. You know what I'm saying? All of my friends and the people who really love me, none of them ever told me, leave your husband. None of my real
Family
friends.
members did, and I was disappointed.
Yeah, some family members did.
I was like,
and all of that.
All
but
I done.
all I could do.
Well,
go ahead,
Kirk.
I understand.
Look, the thing for me is this. I understand that it's not popular. And I'm going to keep it a buck.
Please do.
It's not popular in our community for a black man to cheat on his black queen. And I understand it and I get it, and it's wrong and it's unnecessary. Wrong and unnecessary things happen in this world, right? We have Jay-Z, Beyonce dealing with infidelity, and they were able to deal with it in their own way. There were women who dealt with their husbands having a break baby or a baby outside their marriage, and they stayed. What I always was confused about is why the two of you seem to be the poster couple for you guys are not couple goals. And I'm confused by that.
I am too. Because for me, if I am going to look at someone's relationship or someone's marriage or, look for anything, I want to know what you've been through. I want to understand it because we've been married 25 years. It ain't always great. Like, it gets real out here.
I think so many people for so many years in Atlanta, like you hear people say, if Kirk and Rasheeda can't make it, then I know we can't make it.
Yeah.
We became like such a couple, and it was like never no wrong. We were like the goal, and when I like up, it made a lot of people were sad, a lot of people were disappointed, and I was disappointed myself. It's, like I said, I'll never act like I wasn't disappointed in myself, right? But when people see people in the comments like, oh, this is my couple goal, this is the I can't wait. People get mad because they only know, oh, well, he just had a baby, and that's all they see. And they're like,
because
well,
they don't see all the other years and years and years of all this great life that we've had.
Yeah, right.
And I also think in their defense,
right.
they haven't seen the work you've done
right.
to win back her trust. In their defense, because it wasn't displayed.
No, it wasn't. And I think that, and nothing to throw no shade to nobody, but sometimes people often think that part is not entertaining enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, we can only do what we can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How were you able to forgive your husband for having a baby on you and you ultimately having to be around that for the rest of your life?
Very difficult. I'm going to be honest with you, man. Listen, I had so many conversations with the Lord. It was by the Lord himself that just really pulled me through. Like, and my kids, like, just being honest, like, and my friends who, they were very, very supportive, to a certain extent, but it still was like, no, I have to figure this out for me. What's going to make me happy? And then if we dismantle, we can chop all this up. We got a lot of shit. We're going to be fair. We're going to be admirable with each other because that's just how we are. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be no big messy divorce, because I had the paperwork. It was sitting on my desk. Like, it was right there. And, I sat there with it there for a good little minute, and one day I just said, he just did so many different things to really try to win me back. Because one thing about me is, like, I'm a Gemini. So when you hurt me, I can cut you off. And I cut him so cold, he's never seen that side of me in his life. And I can't speak for you, but I know it didn't feel good, but I didn't feel good. So he had to feel what I felt, and I couldn't really do that. But after a while, I had to pray on that. Like, for real, I prayed and prayed and prayed, and I asked the Lord to lead me. I will not be led by man or woman. You know what I'm saying? I was led by God. And if I got to be dumb for that, then I'll take all them L's. It's fine. My children, I remember Kai coming to me and saying, Ma, I know Dad messed up. But if we no longer a family, like, what are we all going to do? Like, we're a family. We make it through anything. And just listening to him talking, he said a whole lot of other different things as just like a teenager. You know what I'm saying? Living through this and my kids dealing with it in high school. People don't even get the gist. You know what I'm saying? But, that's one part besides me just with the Lord with it. That's one thing that really stuck to me. Him and then all the kids calling, and all my kids like calling like, no, I know, but Shima, please, you got to understand, Dad, he made a big mistake. We all make mistakes, and we do, and then I had to sit there and I had to think about it like, okay, it comes a point in time in life, sometimes you have to weigh out the positives and the negatives. I'm not in the type of relationship where my husband was constantly cheating on me, doing all kind of fucked up shit. No, we didn't have that. We're like freaking frat. Yin, yang, period.
See how you see me?
Yeah, like
That's always been the case.
It's like it's like we ain't individuals. We are Kirk and Rasheeda. You know what I'm saying? So I also had to weigh that out. Now, he double whammied it with the baby. I was like, God damn, but I was like, at the end of the day, sometimes the toughest and hardest things happen during a time where you weren't expecting for that to happen. That came in. It was very difficult for me, for us, but we actually made it through it. And our relationship only got better after that. So I tell people all the time, because even when we were having a conversation with Mona, and I said, actually, you know what? Sometimes, you catch a lot of flack for a lot of different things. She does. I said, but I have to give you your flowers to say, honestly speaking, it was meant for that to happen, for the world to watch and have their judgment. It's totally fine, but at the end of the day, that actually helped us go into a new season of life within our marriage. And it really has. Now, all the extra shit that be going on, that's just a bunch of cap. You know what I'm saying? That's why I really like toss that shit off, because I'm like, baby.
And I also think too, in y'all world, and this is the reason why I always try to tell people who I know who are famous, reality stars or not, the internet world is very different than the real world.
So much.
And I'm pretty sure, and I could bet all my savings on this, that in real life, y'all don't get a percentage of the smoke in person.
Never.
Never. I try to tell people, don't listen to me. Y'all, the internet stuff, this is the thing about the internet that I want people to understand. And we're all guilty of it too.
Right.
When we see something on the Shade Room or Neighborhood Talk, Jasmine Brand, we all do what? Go to the comments to laugh.
Right.
So our intention is to go to the comments to laugh. And if it's dry, we leave and we come back and tell us hype. What that means psychologically is making the people who leave comments to one up each other.
Of course, because they want the top comment. They want the most likes on their shit.
Yeah.
All of that.
So they're going to say the most egregious shit. But we're guilty of it for searching for it. So it's not shade against the people online. We all do it. Mm-hmm. But I know in real life is different. And even the fact that this is the funniest thing. In the beginning, it was like they're the most boring couple on the show. Mm-hmm. Now they're the dumbest couple on the show.
Right.
But what's interesting to me is you two have outlasted every single OG on that show, and you guys are still full-time players. Mm-hmm. Did you think in a million years that Kirk and Rasheeda would still be the top billing players on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta?
I didn't, because that wasn't my lane. But the day I met Rasheeda, I knew it was something special about Rasheeda. I could tell people that she has just, I can't explain it, but she has something about her that's different. So I knew that in the beginning. But on the show that I think we would be where we at, no. Not in a million years. I would have never thought that.
You know what? That's never been in our mindset.
Yeah.
We just go and just be us and do what we do. It also wasn't, one thing that I will say though too, is it also wasn't something that we thought would happen when everything happened with our marriage. It changed an entire demographic of ratings for Love and Hip Hop to a level that they weren't even expecting. So although people, they want to ridicule you, but they're tuning in because it hits a real place as much as they don't want to admit it. You know what I mean?
I want to say something to that too. Because, they sat me down because I was
like, get your mother off that phone.
Sat me down. I was like, listen, they had to explain to me that it's a business here too, right? That when you see something happen, like say something happens and you hit the Shade Room, right? If they go there and there's 0 comments, then there's 0 algorithm, there's 0 movement,
there's zero relevancy
in there. when it hits and it can be this and it gets millions and all these comments, well, that ups your value. I hate to say it.
It does. It's the truth.
It's fucked up, but the fucked up shit is.
Let's have a real conversation.
Thank you.
And we all love them.
Right.
And that's why we bow down, right?
Right.
Beyonce wrote Lemonade based on Jay-Z cheating on her. Okay? She made millions off of it. It's arguably her best album ever. Jay-Z himself made 444, which was his response. But y'all don't get that.
Yeah.
Right.
It was sort of like back in our day, the hip hop diss track, like it's my response record.
Yeah.
Jay-Z's 444 was a response album to Beyonce's Lemonade. And if you listen to it, he talked about him cheating on her, her having the stillborn babies. He talks about the fact that he saw the day the innocence was lost in her eyes. And listen, the Stevie J, Mimi, Jocelyn threesome trifecta was so like out of this world that it was so shocking. But for a lot of people, it wasn't relatable. It was shocking.
Right.
Seeing this couple deal with that level of infidelity was relatable.
Right.
And at the end of the day, what I'm proud of the two of you, and you may not get this publicly, but I'll say it, you two, which I can't express enough how proud I am of you two. The fact that you two have decided to like, let's drown out the noise and let's sit here and let's work on our marriage. Is this marriage worth being saved? I didn't know until today that Jasmine was the only woman you cheated on Rasheeda with. I really thought, based, again, no shade, what I saw on social media, I'm guilty too at times.
Right.
I thought you had a plethora of women. I thought you were cheating on her for many years. I thought we were all hanging out I thought that. But the fact that you two allowed yourselves, and this to me is a blessing of God protecting. I'm gonna just be real. I love the fact that we didn't see the periods of you trying to gain her trust back because they couldn't attack that.
You're right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's exactly.
That would have probably
you said that. You said that.
You see what I'm saying?
You're right.
Yeah.
They couldn't.
I'm proud that they did not
couldn't.
see what y'all go through, because it would have been another attack on. I don't believe him.
Okay,
He's not
it's
sorry
that.
enough.
Yes.
She forgave him too soon.
Yes.
And it's easy. Listen, I'm not here to judge anybody. What I will say is, based on my history of life, I can't tell you how many people I know who've dealt with this. And I can't tell you how many people I know who have decided to stay. It's not as odd as people may think it is. And I feel bad that people are calling you out your name, although you don't care. I get it. but I do feel like the people who are calling you dumb is because they decided to leave, and maybe they aren't happy with their decision.
Or maybe they haven't been in a 25-year marriage and don't understand the dynamic of, for better or for worse, and that you take your vows and you take that for real. And it was so tough, but I feel like that's why I guess maybe I shake it off, because I'm like, make it through that and a couple other things I done been through. I'm cool. I can stand on business. So I can't allow this world here to get into my head. See, I'm the type who can have to disconnect. I have to disconnect from social media. I have to disconnect from all of that, because I was telling Kirk and a few people the other day, I was like, I see why a lot of people go crazy. It's not hard when you're in this light. That's why I always tell people all the time, because they be like, I want to be on Love and Hip Hop. I want to be on reality. I be like, be careful what you wish for. And let me tell you something. Everybody ain't built for this shit, because it can eat you up and tear you down. Because in our society, all our culture thinks to do is rip each other apart. I told Kirk the other day, I said, where the white people version of the Shade Room at?
Who does that? Like, we wanted to know, because we was just like,
I said, where is that at? And nothing against the Shade Room. Do your thing. You are a platform.
They
show love. It's all good.
Shade Room is great.
We live in a business world too.
Right.
So I get that. But I just be like, sometimes with us, we really, really do the most against our own people. And it's sad sometimes.
Yeah, and I always tell people, listen, throw shade, it's fine. I like to laugh too.
Yeah, we
but
do.
I think when it's so when you try to like really eviscerate someone's soul.
Yeah.
And I think that's when you have to take a look at like what is happening in your life to where you think that's okay. But listen, I'm happy for the two of you. I love Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. It's a great show to watch. I'm loving this season. Yandy is one of my babies who I love. I didn't think in a million years that my baby Rasheeda and my other baby Yandy would be at odds.
I didn't either.
So what we saw Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is the fact that, look, Mendecee and Yandy are going through their own situation. Erica Banks brought the bone back. Hey, Erica, I love Tutu featuring B King. Rest in peace, my favorite song of yours. I love you. But no, Erica brought the bone back. The thing about you, I think because I know you so well, when they called you to the scene, I know you so well. You look like, what
is this? What they trying on? That's what I was thinking.
You can't be like, and I said, my girl's like, what shit y'all got today? And Yandy, so long story short, it has been said that, you know, Jasmine is friends with somebody that allegedly Mendecee messed around with, that you allegedly made a comment about that situation. Yandy talked to you about it. Eric, which, by the way, you're funny. Did you say it? Did I say it? I mean, you know, you said it. I did. You don't remember? I mean, you said I said it. Did I say it? So why are you asking me if I said it, if you remember? I'm like, this back and forth is everything,
it
right?
It is. Little tennis match.
You have poor Yandy sitting back like, okay, what's going on? She feels like you did not defend her.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
How was I supposed to defend her? I wasn't there.
So what is going on?
No, I'm just saying I wasn't there. Like, and if people in the world only just paid attention to things and stopped just running with narratives, they would see it very clearly. The whole little incident when the girls came to her, me and Kirk were gone. They was like, Jasmine was looking for Kirk and Rasheeda, and they ran into the Harrises. Well, Kirk and Jasmine had a whole conversation before they ran into the Harrises, just so that everybody knows. Y'all go back and watch the episode. Now, we left. I was damn near in my bed by the time that whole situation happened, just so you know. And for me, I just look at it like, you know, what you finna say?
Nothing.
I hear you. Look, I can hear you.
Like,
and you ain't talking, but I can hear you. I don't like when people try to throw something on you that is so false. Like they're trying to, like, you know.
The concept was
go ahead.
Girlfriend, girl code. This
Right.
is what I'm going to run with, girl code, girlfriend. And this being honest, Rasheeda introduced her to her friends. Rasheeda gave her the game on the restaurant, how to get the liquor license, how to do stuff. She really put up on the game, right? But the thing is, people get to see what's said on TV. But when I had Cannon, Yandy she never got a phone call.
Well, those friends who supported me, she wasn't a part of that.
Right. She never got phone call.
She never talked to me at all.
So
about
from then
the
to
situation.
now, she's never checked on her during that situation, and you can speak on it.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I say when you say girl code, real friend, you try to get these people to rally up against, you know, like. And long story short, me and Rasheeda contract was up, and motherfuckers was going for our spot. That's what really happened. Now I'm just keeping it 100.
However, I do want to.
But let me get back into this. I probably get mad in trouble for saying that. But anyway, you know, it became a thing where somebody wanted a position, right? But Kai, my son, got into a collision. It was on the Shade Room.
It was everywhere.
Views, everything. Yandy never called her to check on Kai. Is everything okay?
When I tell you, I heard from
everybody,
every person on the planet.
I could be home at this time because, you know, I'm friends with Candy, Toya, Munya, everybody. We friends, right?
Yeah.
They was disappointed in me. They sat my ass down and was like, you know, I had to get my ass whooped by them too, you know, because we friends.
Yeah.
But when I tell you, ding dong, at the door, no announcement, how you got through the gate? Kai, whatever. They was there all the time checking on her. Like her friends were there supportively, wholeheartedly, right? What confused me is how of a sudden you such a friend and you never checked on her when the Cannon thing happened. You never checked on her even when it came alive when Jasmine came back, you never even checked on her then, but y'all friends.
And also, too, just for the thing, I don't like to be blamed for something that I had no parts of. Okay. And that's where I think my patience runs short. You can't sit here and say it's all because of Kirk and Rasheeda that we're dealing with this Jasmine situation. We can't say that, because Jasmine and them and the girl, the other girl, Erica, they were talking to you about what your man had going on. That don't have nothing to do with us. Okay. The thing that pissed me off about the whole little Erica situation and all of that was that scene happened, like the scene after when I mentioned Yandy, it was like a whole month and some change. That scene where the girls attacked Yandy, that happened the last scene in season 12A. This whole conversation that happened in a whole new season, we done did new promos, the whole new thing. It's way later. So what pissed me off is I saw the play. I said, oh, y'all trying. Yeah, because it was right after that. You said, Erica said, you said. I'm like, oh, baby, you trying to pull a little New York 1-2 on the bitch. That's what kind of pissed me off. And that's what kind of took it there for me, because I'm like, okay, now you want to play the friend card. But you know, Yandy, you've been doing this reality TV shit for a long time.
Before you.
Before me. So you know how the game going. You know the play. So if we real friends, we don't go past those lines. We keep it straight. We keep it 100. We keep it a buck. You already knew what you were doing. And so that's why I gave it the energy I gave, and I said what I said, because at the end of the day, I know what you're doing, and it's okay. And if people want to run with it and say, Rasheeda's not a good friend, she's not a da-da-da, where your man stick his penis ain't got nothing to do with me.
Well, with that being said, you did say in your confessional that, you know, it is rumored that allegedly Mendecee has other women. Do you think Mendecee is cheating on Yandy?
Have you ever asked that question in Atlanta?
Do you think Mendecee cheating on Yandy? Okay. Yeah. Because first of all, hell no.
I left Atlanta for a reason.
Okay, then. There we go. Okay. Sounds like a plead the fifth one for me, baby. Yeah.
You said it out your mouth.
Well, this is what I'm going to say.
I never met Mendecee, so I don't know anything.
Let me tell you this. I want to say something.
No, Kirk. I want Rasheeda to answer.
What?
Because you said it in your interview.
This is what I will say. I've seen things, and that's just that. That people have brought to me. Let me say it like that.
Did you ever go to her with the things you've seen?
Mm-mm.
Why not?
Because I don't do stuff like that. Because somebody's bringing me something. Now, had I walked in and seen this somebody, then I might pick up the phone and be like, baby, listen, I just walked in and seen your man going crazy. You better get your ass here before I whip his ass. You know.
Well, the things you seen were just like rumors.
You know, just a little bit people saying that be they receipts, you know, that they have. But I'm really not that girl, though. Like, I'm not sitting here running around doing this and doing that. But also, too, I feel like this. Me and Yandy have not had that type of relationship. Like, we don't talk about our husbands. And I know people see the television side of things, and we are in the same friend circles, but there's levels to friendships. And that's the thing. Like, she has her close, tight, bestie friends. Like I said, my friends, like when I go through stuff, we're there to hold each other down, not when the camera on, but in real life, you know, and not for a one-up to look good, because if you really felt like you've been holding me down, well, where were you, baby? That's all I'm saying is where you was at. I'm gonna be like, she said, well, Jessica, baby, dry your eyes. It's okay. But for real, it's like, that's the part that's that Gemini in me. It ain't no gray area. It's fucking black or white. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. You said that and you did that. There was an agenda, and it's totally fine. You can have the agenda. Y'all can have that. It's all cool. But don't sit here and try to play on my character like, oh my God, I've been holding you down so long and you ain't even got my back. Girl, where was you at when I was going through my shit? You didn't reach out that way. You ain't pull up on me. You know why? Because we don't know where each other lives. We never have.
Never been to each other's house.
We've never been to each other's house.
Y'all ain't friends at all.
So then the world wants to look at me like I'm some type of...
You to her house or vice versa?
No.
Y'all ain't friends. Y'all ain't friends.
Not at the level of how somebody tried to play.
League, but y'all ain't friends.
Okay, this is a question. How many times have you and Yandy talked on the phone in the last 5 years?
Nigga. 1, 5, 4, 5, not a lot. I mean, we have a very thin text thread and a very
like
minute
friends, and that's what
call
we
log.
get confused. Like, when did this happen? Like,
so it's okay if people want to say Rasheeda ain't nobody friend. She ain't this. The people who I'm friends with, we know we're friends.
Again, I've been because I tell people all the time, and y'all can attest to this. There's like 3 different groups of friend groups in Atlanta.
Yes.
Right. Your friend group in Atlanta, y'all been friends for like 2 decades.
3
or more. I was gonna say, or even more
3.
like longer.
Yeah.
Monica was just at Frost Bistro the other day and posted. We seen you and Monica support Sierra, and vice versa. Like your so that Yandy has her own friend group of girls I know, Quad, Portia, you know. On some real shit.
Exactly.
Listen, I know the girls. Your friend group is Candy, Manetta, Toya, you know, like the Tiny, like that's your friend group. From my understanding, Yandy's friend group is Portia, Quad, and some other girls.
You know, Ami.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
and her New York friends.
Yeah, exactly. So when I saw the scene, I see 2 women who I know very well, and I as a producer, just me being real, I took it as, okay, bitch, we TV friends,
right?
And if that's the conversation, that's fine. But I never once took it as like you're a bad friend, and I never once took it like Yandy was trying something. But I want to ask this to you, Kirk. Do you feel like Yandy and Mendecee are trying to come for y'all spot on the show?
Well, me and Mendecee had a call. And, you know, there was a rumor going around. I had, you know, they consider us some of the best business partners because we don't bother nobody. Like, I don't pick up the phone and call Mona when she was running it heavy. And I damn sure don't pick up the phone and call LaShawn and bother her now with her controlling it, right? You know.
Shout out to LB.
Yeah, shout out to LB. You know, LB, the big dog. Nobody knows that. You know.
Hi, LaShawn Brownie.
Yeah,
we know LaShawn.
He done pulled out the hole for a leave.
I'm not bad. Hey, LaShawn.
It's all good.
Yes.
So
she's amazing.
She's a real one though. She checked on Rasheeda. You know, it was times when I'm just speeding back, but she came to the store to look at Rasheeda in her eyes and wanted to tell her so bad.
Like, are you good?
Right. So you know, LaShawn was checking on her, right?
Mm-hmm.
But back to that, I kind of feel like Mendecee is first of all, he's from Harlem. Right. I'm from Harlem. I've been in Atlanta since '88 though, so I'm from Atlanta as well. Like I got a lot of Atlanta roots, right? But I know the move. You get what I'm saying? Like I see what was going on, but I didn't catch it in time because, well, I'll be doing a lot. But you know, listen, if it's a way to get into a story that's the story, why not do it? Get your brag. I'm not mad at it, and I like Mendecee. I say this all the time. I like Mendecee. I bigged him up. I'm not in it. But we was on the phone one day, you know, and producers had a little something that Rasheeda don't like a producer on the show, right? So he does spiteful shit to Rasheeda, and I had to check and say, listen, you about at my wit's end now. I'm telling the people, he do this again, I'm gonna fuck him up. Like, cause you playing, you thinking it's a joke, and I'm trying to let you know I don't rock like that. I keep it 100. I don't. So with me and Mendecee, we good. We talking. And he told me, he said, listen, man, you know, what had happened is it was a play. It didn't go the right way. But he told me on the phone, just straight up and down. You just going to have to take it on the chin. Yo,
no, I know you wanted to go out.
I know you wanted to go out on top. Because I said, well, I'm glad it's me and Rasheeda's last month season anyway. I'm glad to get the... I was just venting.
Vent to your boy.
I'm trying to negotiate. You know, I want them to give me some more money. I'm trying to raise my pay. So I said the wrong.
Love y'all. Y'all keep it real.
You know what I'm saying? So motherfuckers thinking we leaving. So now motherfuckers is challenging the position.
Oh,
I'm saying
that's
like, what the So here's the thing. He told me, you're going to have to take it on the chin. And I was like, what? Do you know who you're talking to? Oh, okay. So you want to, so it was like, you know, we made it friendly competition, basically. You know, me and him started spatting over certain things. I started saying slick, probably shouldn't have said, you know what I'm saying? But you were saying slick shit too. So I'm like, are we doing that then? If that's what you want to do, then this is what we doing. So we start throwing jabs, and there's more to come. We start throwing jabs at each other, but not like disrespectful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We just saying little shady shit, Now, here's the thing. You in Atlanta, we in Atlanta. I have friends that I love who do certain things in their marriage and relationship. I don't judge them. I love them. I don't care. If you doing what you're doing, do what you do. I just feel like they held back some information from us that they should have told us. And that's me keeping it 100.
In terms of like things they knew about you guys or just what they were going through?
Go to Vegas and look up me and Rasheeda marriage certificate.
Well, no, not in terms of us, because one thing
look.
I do have to say is me and Kirk been as transparent as you can get when it comes to this.
I put shit on TV.
We put this shit out there. Like, I've dealt with the whole.
I'm gonna be honest, and I said this, and I'm getting in because I don't care where he put his private. It's his, right? This is me keeping it 100. But when you start saying slick shit like, well, I'm the only one on the show who ain't had a baby, you don't have all these goddamn baby mamas coming for Yandy. I'm just keeping it 100. But none of my, this is stuff that happened on the show, right?
Yeah.
But I really feel like, for me, number one, what's happening for Mendecee and Yandy, for Atlanta to like you, it needs to happen because they funny down here anyway. Atlanta is funny. Mm-hmm. You are getting some new traction, right? So I'm gonna give you your props. That's the Harlem in him. He's smart. I got to give him credit when credit is due, and I got to give her credit when credit is due because they attacked us in a way where now they're into it with Kirk and Rasheeda, and that's where I was like, I applaud you for that one. You did your big one, right? But I do think on No Shade, I'm like, bro, I've been to 2 weddings. For me to find out you motherfuckers really ain't married, that threw me for a loop.
Are Yandy and Mendecee legally not married?
There's no marriage certificate. Those were weddings.
Between us girls, Rasheeda, is that true?
Listen, this is what I will tell you. A marriage certificate is a legal document and a public document that you can pull up and go get right now. That's what I will tell you.
So when he said take it on the chin, that's chess for me. It's like checkmate. You trying to get in a position that I currently hold. I'm like, you hold up. So I'm like, this is a married thing right here. Because you got to get there only by being a couple, right? So that was like break number 1. But if y'all got an open relationship, just say it. Instead of us thinking you cheating, because he's really not cheating if it's not what we think. Listen, I'm not disrespecting him because I fuck with him. But
really?
No, I really do. No, and I'm just saying if it's something different, I think just say that.
Do you think Yandy and Mendecee have an open relationship?
It's something they're not telling the world, bro.
Okay.
It's something they're not telling the world.
Rasheeda?
I respect.
I'm sorry, that was my mama.
Okay, cool.
Hey, Mom.
I
Calling
do.
you.
Okay, like I said, I do have respect for Mendecee though. He's a cool dude. He a smart dude too though. He laid back, but he cutting.
For me, it's just don't try to deflect and make it seem like it's us who's doing this to y'all. We don't have nothing to do with that. Okay. And then secondly, like I just say, at some point, maybe living in your truth is probably a better option. And that's just what I'm gonna say about
I aired
it.
my truth on the show.
Yeah.
I've been taking the beating since,
You still are taking
No,
the
and he's gonna take them because they ain't gonna let that shit live.
Decade, right?
Yeah.
That shit gonna live
I tell
forever.
Rasheeda all the time. I thank God for giving me the strength to take those attacks that I had to take, because had I not had to train Rasheeda when she was rapping a lot to learn how to dust off stuff, man, I'd have been standing at the edge of a roof ready to jump the way they was attacking me. You know, I would post my apple pie from Houston's or something like that, and they was like, "I hope you choke on it and die."
Damn.
But the things that happened
it was rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were mad at me for like something that happened, and I'm like, I've apologized 100 times. I'm sorry for what it was disrespectful for me, because I hold myself accountable too, because I didn't just any kind of, bro. I held myself to a standard, and I dropped the ball, which was disappointing for me.
Yeah.
So it made me realize, you know what? Kids looking up to me, my grandkids, this and that, they got to go to school. Which they call me Yaya, by the way. They're like, "What you doing, Yaya? You gonna fuck the family up?"
Because to have the conversation, sit your kids down, to tell them, like, did you guys have to do that before the show aired just to give them a heads up, or were they?
Well, it couldn't be before the show aired because goddamn well we didn't know what the.
No,
it
we
was.
had to talk to them as it goes.
We had to talk to
along
them
and
as it went.
Don't let people pick on you. Don't learn that it's this and that.
Yeah.
But now in no hindsight, Love and Hip Hop got a lot of real moments. A lot of them are transparent. Like literally, this is happening right in front of your eyes. We don't see it until it air. We don't even know what people about to talk about. We don't know what's coming on. When me and Mendecee was spatting back and forth with y'all getting to watch now. I mean, shit, we was on the phone less than a week ago talking about some car shit and some other shit. So it's like, I think the guys, we're mature. We understand that what age we are. We're not trying to act like we in elementary school. But like, yo, you said something,
Melanie, we at work, we're going to call you back.
I come from a challenging, in my mind, I'm number one. I know how to be number one. In my subtle way, I'm a number one dude, right? So when you challenge me like that, I had to give it back to you. You get what I'm saying? You want this? You think you really ready to taste it? All right, that's what you want to do? And I asked him, because I don't want to do this with you. Said it like 4 or 5 times. In front of him and Yandy. I don't want to do this, y'all sure? And that's how we got where we at.
So now that we're watching the season, listen, bravo. Listen, I said this to Scrap and Erica and Diamond and Bambi and Mama D, and I'll say this to the two of you. I am falling back in love with the show. Because I did feel at one point it went through this weird transition where it was like, who are you people? I don't get this, whatever. And I'm loving this season. I feel like it's the real is coming back. Like real conversations, real moments. And you two have been the staple on the show. So kudos to the two of you. Outside of that, you guys have so many businesses.
That's another reason why I ain't got time for the fuck shit.
Well, no, listen. I'm going to brag for y'all. Y'all got to say it. You two are very wealthy. And you two keep it quiet, which is a great thing, because what it shows is you aren't doing it to show off. You're doing it to do what we're learning at our big age, which is setting up generational wealth.
So much so.
Investments and properties.
Yes.
Now, I want to get into this too. Talk about your businesses. And are one of these keys my late birthday gift? So I just, is it the Audi? Is it the Lamborghini? Is it the Mercedes? Like, what the fuck? Like,
bro, I have 20 cars. That's only 6 of the keys. So I got 20 cars.
You have 6 of those, type of.
I got 20 car keys. But I'm from Harlem. I grew up with the Alpo, AZ, Rich Porter, Do Up. I grew up in the era. I'm a car guy. I love cars.
I'm from Detroit. I'm a car guy. I have 2.
I love. Look.
He collects. I can't leave you hang.
I have a sports car and a Jeep. Right. You know what I'm saying? One to ride when it's winter time, bro.
I have cars that are. Well, I'm a collector too, so I got cars that never came to the United States. I have,
that's like his little thing.
Yeah, I have one of something that's only 700 ever was made in the world. I just got a lot of a GT3 RS, which you have to spend over $2 million with Porsche to even be on the list.
Yeah,
I built it, so I'm just a different. It's just levels to certain things, and I've been doing this car thing since I was 16. So it's nothing new.
How much money y'all got? The Frost.
None.
You know who my idol is?
That word, bro.
You want me to tell you who my idol is? My idols, Jay-Z and Beyonce. I'm nowhere near where I need to be because I look up to them. That is the world I'm looking at. I know we down here, but you aren't.
Listen. I'll say this, and we're going. I know for a fact that when it comes to a lot of people in Atlanta, you two are definitely one of the wealthiest. And the reason why I know that is because you guys also invest. And there's a lot of real estate happening, and you guys make a lot of money online, and you own your own masters. So there's multiple streams of income. There's a lot of passive income where you wake up and hear cha-ching and as well as Fargo. Or Navy Federal Credit Union. But you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So what do you guys have going on that you want the world to know? Because I know a lot of the narrative online has been like all the craziness, but you two are very smart business people. So before I let you guys go, I do want you guys just to do it for me, a little humble brag about a lot of the businesses you guys are a part of, from Frost Bistro to Press Online.
Frost Bistro, Pressed Online, Pressed the physical store. We have a lot of real estate. Like that's where we put like money at. I mean, I would say, I would say I feel so good about the fact that like we're able to, have our kids and pay for houses and, do stuff like that. Cause that's really the important part. Like, and for me, I look at it like I keep it on the chill. You know what I'm saying? I keep it on the humble, and always being thankful to God to be a giver. You know what I mean?
Back.
And exactly. And the blessings come back tenfold. You know what I mean?
I believe in tithing. I believe in giving back. I do. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, we left out an important business for us. Now, I've been doing houses for maybe 25 years now. We're literally build and rehab houses. We've been doing it for a very long time. We're finishing up a beautiful one right now. Yeah, I can show you the pictures. That won't be for the camera. Rasheeda's interior decorator. She does all the furniture.
I don't even put that out there, but people literally ask me.
With this.
They ask me all the time. I'm literally decorating someone's whole entire house.
Yep. Yeah. So I gutted it out, redid it, brought it up to speed. It's very it looks. I'm gonna show you some. Yeah, it's a big dog house. I built Frost Bistro, by the way. I gutted that out.
Totally.
I built my first commercial restaurant. I did Press. I did D-Lo Studios.
Yes.
I mean, back in the 90s, I built my own studio. Like, people think I'm new to construction. We've been doing this. Just the last construction job made me over 120 grand, just lightweight in my chill time. And keep in mind all the jobs we doing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The interior decorator budget. And, then you got... So we have a lot of things because the money ain't the same as it was.
Yeah, things have changed.
Things have changed, but had I not had the skill set that I had, we would not be able to do and continue to move the way we move, So we believe in being our own bank. That's why the journey is on the way. Because
that part, because we're in production. We are our own little production company. Yeah, we're our documentary, The Journey, we've...
Talk to me about that. You guys have a documentary called The Journey.
The Journey, the Untold Story of Kirk and Rasheeda. Yes.
You will get to learn... Y'all going to learn a lot here, but you'll get to learn a lot more.
You'll learn so much on there. And we have all the footage, 30 years worth of footage.
It's
all the receipts, baby.
Yeah, when I name somebody, you'll see them.
You saw the super trailer, all of that footage.
Listen. They showed me the trailer before we started the interview, and y'all know I'm a critic. Hey, reality of the king, and I'm very honest when it comes to my friends because I want all of us to win. That's why we always got along because we fed into each other on some low key. On some real shit, it's a great documentary. I saw the trailer. It's listen, it's the reason why I was stalking y'all for 2 years. Because the thing is this. I know how hard it is for people to do reality television. And I know how hard it is for people to succumb to like the pressures of the audience commentary. And I wanted to use my platform to create a safe space for my friends in the industry to talk to somebody that has a mainstream platform where you can just express how you feel and really show people who you guys are outside of the show.
Right.
And when I saw the documentary called The Journey, it really did a wonderful job at setting up like who Kirk was before he even met Rasheeda. You got the brat in it. You got so many like names in it who are really speaking to his character and his business acumen. And then in the middle of it, Rasheeda's introduced and you get to see like this skinny, beautiful girl just trying to like make it and being on stage and really being the mouth of the South. And that to me is what is important. And what I am so grateful for is the fact that you two have not changed at all. I've known you guys for like 15 years. You two are still the same humble people who have not let the genre of reality television or the comments to change you guys as people. Right. You have never fully crashed Kirk comments, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
But,
you don't never see me.
No, you don't.
Because that just ain't me.
Out. Yeah. And the fact that you allowed yourself to say, I'm dealing with this. I am going to deal with this in the way where God speaks to me not other people. And that to me is a testament to that. And the fact that you two are honestly super smart when it comes to business. And you two honestly represent a lot of Black love stories. It may not be the story that we think we want, because a lot of people don't want to really talk about the trauma.
They don't.
And
you
not
know what?
every relationship needs to be traumatic. Let's be
It
clear.
doesn't. It doesn't.
But you changed me today when you said the difference between Kirk and maybe what other women dealt with is, at the end of the day, there was one woman he slept with. He had a baby by. And I saw that he tried to really win me back. I saw the effort and the fact that you sat back and you chose to save your family because that's what's important to you. And I think we as a community, we have to stop judging people who choose to be in situations that work for them. This may not work for you.
No, absolutely. And it may not work. And another thing I say about people too is like, everybody has a different breaking point in their life and they go through their situations all so differently. At the end of the day, when you sit back and you're actually a person in it and you looking at other people, it's like, it's really not for me to judge, because if I haven't been through that or if I haven't touched on that, how can I say what I would do? And this is me looking at other people's situations. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So but our, you know, our people think different. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? This generation is a whole nother kind of ball game. But that's really like the gist of the whole thing. Like, everybody makes different decisions. Everybody's breaking point is going to be different. Everybody's going to deal with situations in different kind of ways. It's really not for us to judge. We can have our opinions. It's all fine. But to ridicule somebody for making a decision,
I understand it.
no, I understand it, and
but I
it's
wanna
good
add to
entertainment
something.
when people say their little comments and do whatever they do. That's all fine and good. But there is a point sometimes where you just like, okay, I'm human.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like,
You know,
Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
human.
you know, and I apologize a million times, and that's why I love the friend group that I mean, when I tell you, boy, that Candy and damn Toya and money, when I say they took my ass up and they hugging me, they was like loving on me when I was down. They really helped me through a really, really, really tough time. Like, there's like no other. I mean, it was to the point where we would be out and y'all would all be taking. Now, you would be there sometime, and there's a
Yeah.
picture in there. I'm stage left. Kirk, get your ass back in this. I don't want people on your page talking all that nonsense, you know. And they had to even get a tough skin to be like, man, forget that. We with you, bro. You was here when this. So, you know, they loved on me when I was down. They loved on her when she was down, and on some real deal stuff. And
Ebony loved on me.
everybody. It was like
Yes.
really money. Everybody that was there was supposed to be there was really there.
Yeah.
Everybody, right? These people who sit back and they talk and they say, I don't know why she did this, I don't know this and that. I feel bad for them, because if you think that you're gonna marry somebody and nothing is gonna happen, or you're gonna have a relationship and it's just gonna be peaches and cream, you are not living in the real world. I'm sorry. I'd be like, I think y'all really, like, people be like, why they going to them for advice? Because we've been through, and we can tell you
And
what
you
it's like.
want to hear
out of
shit
some
for some
some
people
real
who've
shit.
been through some shit, who can tell you like for real what they went through.
Right.
Mhm.
Somebody
Like, I
with
wanna-
experience. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
so you getting in the car with somebody who can learn how to drive and got a license, or you getting in the car with somebody who's never done it before?
Right.
We
You getting on reality TV and they got a chance to sit down and talk to you, or they got a chance to sit down and talk to somebody who's never done shit before. What the
I know, and sometimes in my cases, they talk to other people.
well,
And they listen to them. I'm like, you got my phone number and access to me.
Right.
And you choose to talk to
Period.
everyone else. Okay. But no,
Yeah.
but that's real.
No,
That's real.
it's real.
Yeah.
You know, and I say, like, you know, had I known, now that's when you say, would you would have did something different? Had I known that would have happened, oh man, I wish I could go back, but I can't. You know, I can't go back. I'm not God. I can't rewind the clock. But it taught me a very, 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 very tough lesson. Like, it can make me sad thinking about it, because like I came this close to like losing my best friend, and that shit, I'll say it again, it was torture. Like, like when I tell you, the day she finally spoke and said something to me, it was because of business related issue. And when I tell you, that's when the light came on, because like a year, I just stayed and came as much as I can to get the kids, pick them up from school, do whatever she needed, I did. Like, I just stayed and stayed and stayed and stayed. And then one day, she said something to me business related, and I just was like, ding.
Because I'm a little
got
hard.
A chance.
Like I cut you off, I cut you the
Yeah,
fuck off.
I got a
Like
chance.
that's my thing. That's why I have such a short tolerance for bullshit. And I am loyal to like
Very
people who I
loyal.
love. Like I'm real and I'm loyal, and that's just it. Just is what it is.
Let me speak on this as a friend card. And Spice, love her to death.
I love me.
Spice went through some health situations. She was out the country. My offer was, and this is to her friend at the time, what does it cost to fly her back? We'll write the check today. You know why? Because she's a friend. You get what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to let that happen. You get what I'm saying? I don't care what it takes. We're going to get her back here. I don't give a fuck if we had to break the bank. We're going to get her where she can be on American soil.
To try to get the best
treatment.
help that she can
We
get.
ain't worried about it. Like, that's, we in the real world here with not the other shit, right? Just like if somebody was going to fight Mendecee or Yandy. I'm not gonna stand around and let nothing happen to him.
I mean, I might go. Okay, let me help
you.
I'm
I mean, I feel like we grown enough where we can.
No, but I'm not that
guys listen, I always tell reality stars on ensemble shows, you guys are a dysfunctional family.
No, it's so so true.
And only y'all get it.
Only us get it.
Only y'all get it. Who's in that? Only y'all get it.
Yes.
Do y'all get the Bambi being a rapper thing though? Do y'all get that?
Let me tell you this.
Bambi's a stallion. But
no, Megan. Okay, now what I will say is this.
Okay, I want the.
Don't do that.
Okay.
I got a good little chuckle. I was shocked.
But
I did chuckle
because I told Rasheeda I see what she probably got mad at because I was like, oh no, I didn't realize. I forgot the cameras was on me. I was just being Kirk. But I didn't throw no shade. But Bambi, I'm not gonna front. I like Bambi, and then we because they was Amy and her with the diss record, and me and Rasheeda was the one saying, "Oh, it's just a diss record. Put that out."
Yeah.
Oh, so she might
Spice, make your money.
Okay.
Make your money. I'm telling Spice Girl, what we ain't gonna do is do a whole album and then say fuck it over some drama.
So
you're gonna get your coin back.
Yeah. Oh, y'all motherfuckers think the diss record is okay? Well, let me show y'all this. So I think
but never at one time. I've never said anything bad, or
cool.
I honestly speaking, I really have a lot of love for Bambi.
We do.
And one thing about me and Kirk is when her and Scrappy were going through their problem. I love Sierra.
I like Rennie. I
like Rennie
too. Of course, Jock Scrappy.
Yeah, that's family.
Yes, of course. I mean, that's like decades and
Carly is even
decades.
cool, even though people think she ain't.
Carly is harmless and she understands her role.
She do.
Carly is really.
She understands the assignment, baby.
Carly has one job.
Yes.
Period.
And my girl does it well.
She does.
And nobody takes it personally. It's like that's Carly.
That's Carly.
And I have a new little favorite too. The model. What's her name?
Jessica. I like Jessica.
I like Jessica too.
I like her coming off
like
the cusp. I be like, you better say that.
I like her. So there's love in there. It's not like
it's a great cast.
Yeah. I have love for Yandy Mendecee too. I'm not gonna act like I'm just.
I know it's a dysfunctional family.
It is.
They're gonna clap back at you after this.
Of course they are, but
no,
it all works,
baby. Listen,
it all works in a house.
It does. A hamster wheel. It doesn't matter. We can sit here and say everything right, and there's something wrong with it. So it don't matter.
It's all good.
But this is what I will say. I really have this spot for Bambi because me and Kirk was so instrumental in trying to help her and Scrappy, work their marriage out. Like we was literally like their therapist for a long time, like sitting on the phone with them, really just, hoping that it would work, because it's difficult. It's not always easy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And for her to, she's been through a divorce, maybe she just like, I'm just doing me, do you, but we ain't got to do all that.
I did tell Rasheeda though, I think she needs to change up a little bit. And I hate to say it,
me?
but you do.
Why?
Because
I don't.
Because if everybody goes back and watch Love and Hip Hop, they can actually watch everybody interchange partners. I mean,
I can't.
I've been riding on the same penis
for
the whole motherfucking time.
We run around. we be running around, be like, because it was a scheme
that
Todd set up. So shout out to my boy Todd. Todd, that's Todd.
That's how I feel with the drama, because it was a scheme.
Yeah,
for real. So no shade, man.
But I'm glad you guys are able to laugh at it, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters, and I'm happy that the two of you have each other.
Me too.
Yeah.
This is my baby. This is my
everything else.
This is my
Blink 2 times.
blink 2 times if you want to get free. Nigga,
Blink 2 times if you want to get free.
Listen, this is my only marriage. If this fucking end, that's it. I'm single. I am not looking to marry nobody else. I don't want to. You know, I'm very happy where I am. This is my road dog. I mean, you know, because, you know, you always, you know, I went through a health scare for a minute too with some things. And when I say A1 Johnny on the spot, making sure you know, it's just like, you think a stranger gonna care?
I tell people all the time.
Sure.
You know what? That's the thing too when it comes to relationships. Like to be with somebody who, like Kirk, who I met him, he was lit. You know what I'm saying? But that never was my agenda for real. We just really ended up just having this great friendship, and then it developed into something. But as a woman, for someone who basically changed their life, took some steps back and said, here, I'm willing to bet all on you. Let's do it. Mm-hmm. And him putting that in me, and then us being able to take this and sitting here right now to this day, like that holds so much to me. I get it. Mistakes happen. We've been through some shit, okay? But for someone to do that shit out trumps
Let me look for
a
my
situation.
certificate.
You know
I'm
what I'm saying?
Being rude. I want to
shut up. But that out trump that. And it took me a while to get past it, but
yeah. No.
Well, let me hold your phone.
Listen. Okay, these are receipts.
There you go.
Okay, hold on. Ron,
what you got?
Ron, I gotta get my bag because, you know, I'm a little older.
Oh, no, you got yours. I got mine too. I got mine too.
No, because I want people to stop thinking I married Rasheeda, an underage girl, and
I'm
groomed
gonna
her to
read
marry
it.
her and bought her from her mom.
Let me
That's
read this out.
Who makes this shit
up? For real.
So, I love a receipt because I'm a journalist. Hey, Portia. All right, so here we go. This is Kirk and Rasheeda's marriage certificate. Record date, December 18th, 1999.
Yes.
All right, Rasheeda Buckner.
Yes.
Kirk Frost. Okay. This is a real marriage certificate. Yandy and Mendecee, come on Reality with the King next and present yours. Thank you. I'm teasing, but no, all jokes aside, thank you, Kirk and Rasheeda.
No problem.
This has been worth the wait. And like I said, I love the show this season. Congratulations.
Thank you, darling. Thank you.
We did it.
We did it.